Good evening, everyone, and welcome to round 7 of the Octane Online Racing Simrigs Sprint Series here for Split Blue at Mount Panorama, the most fearsome racetrack in this game, in my opinion. And I am joined tonight by George. How are you, Cookie?
Yeah, doing very good, Alexis. Thank you very much for the intro. And yeah, it's Bathurst. Oh, better get that right. I don't do it on purpose. Yeah, I totally do it on purpose. Looking forward to a good 60-minute race tonight, though.
Yeah, most definitely. Should be very, very exciting. We've got a 6.213 kilometer track here at the Bathurst in New South Wales. So we'll have to see how things go. We've got some interesting drivers out there tonight, so we'll jump across to qualifying to see how things pan out.
Yeah, we had practice just before. We did see one driver getting into the 59s. Track temperature out there pretty reasonable. So 23 on the track, 20 in the air. Optimum conditions is always a little bit of cloud cover. Still a chance for rain out there, but none at the moment, which is going to be good for all the drivers. They'll be thankful for that. Don't want to repeat of split green last night. For those that did watch, split yellow, got the right side of the weather. Nothing to be said there about that. Then, unfortunately, split green just got a full torrential weather. Calls for red flags in the chat as well. So we'll see what happens here with split blue tonight. But it's the last round of the series, Series 17. And yeah, we will have Series 18 sign-ups starting up in about a week and a half after this.
Yes, indeed. So we'll have 9.5 minutes left in this qualifying session. Currently looking at Chris Murphy as he runs through the cutting. So should be a great race out there tonight. Not sure how many we have. I think there are a few that didn't end up putting in their attendances until late or at all. So we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, we've got 25 on the grid at the moment, so that pretty much is said and done in terms of the numbers out there. Ashton Reynolds, of course, has flown away with this season in the pro category on a net points of 799. Before the drop round, of course, he'll lose 65 or so from the round 4 disappointment that he had. Other than that, it's been pretty much a perfect season for Ashton Reynolds. He's just been on top the entire time, and I'm guessing, given he's in a Ford, he might be putting it on top today. We'll see. Chris Murphy's been up there as well, but I mean, that Red Bull ring is something I'm never going to forget.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest of races for the Ansett Airlines Porsche at the Red Bull ring. He runs it through the chase now, hard onto the brakes. How much curves he's taking on the inside should be none, and that is correct through there. So nice run. Won't be the most optimal lap time to start, but it will be something on the board. From here, he can just push on. Another driver that's in the Porsche tonight is just a slightly quick fellow, as Murphy sets a 2 flat 1. It is down there in P19 at the moment with our lap time is Matty Lamb. He's here tonight.
Yeah, nice to see Matthew Lamb back on the grid in the number 15 Porsche. And yeah, we were on board from him for a little while at the start. Here it is right now, the live renamed GR, for whatever that stands for. But he is a very fast contender. Oh my good.
It'll be the Toyota Grizzu Racing, wouldn't it? The red and the black.
That would be, actually. Yeah, I think you're absolutely spot on. I mean, that's beside the point, because he's put a 59.4 on the board on his first banker. That is...
Yep, that is...
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
That is certainly one of the laps of all time from Matty Lamb. That is disgusting. Kieran Reid pops it into P16 of her 238. Vediger currently only P6 for 201 flat, so is clearly getting just a banker on the board for the moment. The order as it stands is Lamb from Brimbleke, Murphy, Reynolds in P4, then Fizzleblades, Ellis, Vediger, Fleming, Begg and Johnston. We right on board with Reynolds as he runs it through into Forest Elbow.
Yeah, lovely corner this. Absolutely love to see it. I mean, there's a 6/10 gap there between P1 P2. Sean Brimbleke was the only driver in practice that got into the 59s, while clearly expecting him not be the only one, that's for sure, especially with the likes of Reynolds and Lamb in the lobby today. I do expect to see Chris Murphy in there too. Porsche seems to be quite strong here, as does the Ford, and look at nearly 7/10 up at the moment on the Delta for Ashton Reynolds, so that'll put him within sort of spitting distance just under 0.3 of a second if he does get across the line with that delta. Decent run through the chase, but on the exit, not ideal. Does get a little bit of time there. Nope, just loses it. Let's see what he does into Murray's corner. Tricky braking this one, and just got to turn it in the right time, avoid that curb. Looks like an okay entrance and a good exit. Yep, that's going to be nearly 7/10. Oh, just above 0.3 to land.
Yeah, it was a solid lap. Did notice he didn't shift it up into sixth gear going down Conrod Straight, which was rather interesting. I wonder if that is just a little quirk with the Mustang. And speaking of the Mustang, we have some bad news. Aiden Payne is out tonight, so we don't get to see the Holden livery Mustang out there tonight.
What a shame. Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's a livery. It's gotten them airtime, and so you can't fault them for that. We're on board now with Chris Murphy. Up through Corey we go. Decent enough. Does lose a little bit of exit there. Doesn't quite get onto the curbs. Maybe just getting the power down a bit tricky. Oh, very close to the wall on the left-hand side. Just a frog collar we go.
It just looks like the car isn't quite responding the way you'd want to. It runs quite cleanly through McPhillamy. Now through Skyline and the S's. Oh, a lot of commitment, but he does lock the rear a little bit going through towards the dipper. It's lost him a little bit of time going through a bit on the exit. Was gained. Now through Forest Elbow. How tight does he keep it to the inside wall? Opposite to one. Short shift up to second. Oh, that's loose on the rear. That's going to compromise the exit onto Conrad as we run down to Jamie Conboy. He's up by 7/10 of a second, and he's going to be challenging the time of Matt Lamb here. If he gets the exit out of Murray's, Jamie Conboy is going to be right there. Gets it nice and deep. Does he compromise his exit? No, that is very, very clean. And it's just faster than what Matty Lamb's done. A 59.445. Jamie Conboy currently on for pole position.
Wow, split blue. This is going to be legendary. I mean, especially with the speed and the type of race we've got ahead of us. 60 minutes of essentially qualifying conditions, because there's a 2-stop strategy today. 2 mandatory pit stops for tyres only. Of course, you will be doing a little bit of refueling as well. Many opting for the 20-20-20 strategy, 20 minutes apiece for each of your stints. And so it basically means you get to go flat out through the entire lap. So I expect to see a few of these 59s crop up during the race as well. Now here's Matthew Lamb. He's found time too. So, you know, it does take a lap or so to get the tyres really up into a window and maybe just build that confidence. So the 59.4s are just banker laps at this stage. Oh, finds a bunch of time on the exit of Murray's. Goes across the line. That's a statement. 59.262.
And I'd say, unless he decides to do just one more lap in this session, that will do it for Matty Lamb. Reynolds invalidated this time. Clearly just getting the tyres back down, and we'll start a new lap. As here is Conboy. He's matching roughly going through the middle sector. Does drop a bit going through the dipper. What's his line through Forest Elbow? Like he goes nice and deep, but that's going to compromise the exit, and it does, and he's losing time. So Conboy is really going to have only 1, maybe 2 more opportunities at this one.
Yeah, he's going to have to get it done at the chase or at Murray's corner. And I think he had a little bit of a wider run on the exit of Murray's corner, so that might be the place for him to gain some time. Chris Murphy is up by just above, or now much more than 0.2 of a second. That's a wall ride, though. That is on the wall. That's not going to help him.
No, it's just the Chaz Mostert strategy through there, just knocking the mirrors around a bit. But he's got a beautiful slipstream from the Mustang in front of him. That could be Brent Sykes, who's just in front there. So he'll get a beautiful slipstream down Conrad through the Porsche. A world of good. Now into the chase. Oh, it's nice and loose on the exit, and he's not going to be able to take the ideal line. He's still slightly up, but I don't think it's going to quite be enough to surpass Brimblecombe there unless he really nails Murray's, and it's not going to quite be enough, and I think that will do it for Murphy. He's going to pull off to the side, and that will be that. Here is Vediger, who's still only P7 at the moment, so that BMW is really struggling, and only up to P6, and he's done. He's going to be more than a second off of pole position.
Wow, that's quite significant for Vediger. I mean, he's been right up there in terms of the championship as well, on 571 points, currently P2 in the overall standings for Split Blue. So he's not really got much to lose here. His next nearest competitor is Tom McDonald down in P5, third in the pro split on 412 points. So even after a drop round, Vediger will be clean on that. Another invalidated lap from Ashton Reynolds. He will have time to go again.
I think this one might be the glitch. Yeah,
it is the glitch. Yeah, so it was valid.
Yeah, because it was reading 4 minutes and 30 seconds, so it was just carrying over from the previous lap. But he's gone a bit faster to get close to the convoy and further away from Brimblecombe. Brimblecombe is on the lap now. Ignore what the lap time says up the top left-hand corner. That is not indicative.
Yeah. The question is, we keep an eye on the delta, because that, I believe, is actually correct. The delta's correct, but the overall lap time is incorrect, yeah. So he was finding a little bit of time up the hill, but question is, and the real challenge of this place is down the hill. Can you get the dipper right? Can you get Skyline right? Can you get Forest Elbow right? Forest Elbow especially, because you gain so much time on the exit if you get it absolutely right. And here's Matthew Lamb once again, up through Griffin's Bend.
Oh,
decent enough. It's really on the edge, isn't it? I mean, to get a 59.2, you've got to be risking it all, don't you?
He could have gone a little bit wider there, surely, but oh, look at how loose the rear is on that portion. That's the lap gone.
Yeah. That's just, it's just a little bit too much there, and you know that. But that's the difference between a great lap and a good lap, isn't it? It's how close you get to that edge.
Yeah, and the edge around here is a very, very fine line, as I don't think Brimblecombe's going to be improving, so P4 will be the best it gets for him. But on return, Matty Lamb, he's got pole position from Jamie Convoy.
Nice to see Jamie Convoy up there. I mean, that was a stonking lap in the Pixel Races board.
Oh dear, that's Burton into the wall, but he's P7, which isn't too bad. The Honda is historically rather strong around here.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And he's got Breno Ellis, who's just behind him, actually. No, just behind him in P8 at the moment. He's actually finding time, and there's less than 200ths of a second in that gap. So Breno Ellis, if he can get this lap together, will be going into P7 ahead of Burton. No way they're going to make it up to Joshua Vediger unless he can find 3/10 in that lap. Here on board with Lewis now. He's got a bit of time on the Delta. Again, ignore the red timing screen there because that is just incorrect. And we will see him find nearly 4/10 as he goes down the Conrod Straight for the final time, because qualifying is technically over. So these are the last laps you're seeing before we set the final grid for our 60-minute race to end the season.
Yes, indeed. Lewis still up by about 3.5 tenths per second. Does find a little bit of time into the braking zone of the chase. Probably didn't enter as wide as he could, but it's still holding stable. If he keeps this up, he should move up into about P14. Round the final corner at Murray's, he gained a fair bit. This might move him up to P13 even. Oh, not quite. Just less than a tenth of Piper, but P14, he should be relatively pleased with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we're looking at Frustuck here. I think he's one of the only AMS drivers on the grid today. We'll double check that just in case I'm absolutely wrong, because I might do have a tendency to do that.
I believe he would be the only AM driver out there.
I think so. Well, no, I think we've got Chris Brooker on the track. Yeah, the 83. Oh no, yeah, he is. Yeah, Brooker is there. So there's actually 2 AMs at the moment out on track. I don't think we have Alex Olive today. And then up to 22. We'll do a double check when we go through the grid. This is a good time though for him. And oh, well, not quite good enough, unfortunately, to go up above P25. So that'll be it. And we do have another entrant on the grid as well, P26 there. I'm not sure if he's made it in time.
I know. That was Aiden Payne who had the issues.
Oh, yes, it was. So that's just a little carryover. So 25 on the grid. And good qualifying. Matthew Lamb, what a lap. Jamie Convoy, what a lap. And Ashton Reynolds in P3.
He's got an onslaught of Mustangs behind him, does Matty Lamb. In fact, it's a Mustang sandwich with the Porsches as the bread, of course.
That's exactly right. Yeah, very American content. Might as well be spam in the middle. But yeah, we had all Ferrari. Oh yeah, well just I'll say it. We've got Ferrari party in yellow, split yellow. And now we've got a Ford party here essentially, but solidly being ruined by the Porsches at the moment. But it's going to be an interesting race between the Porsches and the Mustangs today. And then of course you've got Joshua Vediger, who's just going to be hovering behind the party, waiting for a gap and a chance to get into the club.
Yes, indeed. Then on the row after that, we've got Burton and Breno Ellis. Following on P9 and P10, we've got Fisselfleet there in P9 and the Covenant Ferrari there. That would be Lachlan Parkin, would it not?
It is. That's right.
That's a brilliant qualifying session from Parkin then. There we got Johnston, the 71 Monster Mustang, Monster McLaren. Sorry, I'm used to supercars here. Not sure if I've seen that McLaren on the entry list before, so that is a extra entry, that would be... Oh no, 21, so that's Beg. My apologies.
Yes, Beg.
I'm
Yeah, Grant
blind.
Beg. No, I mean, you know, you're doing this by essentially livery, which is great. We know what's on the right-hand side there. We don't need to talk about him. Then Brake Sykes on the left-hand side. There's Horsburgh, so he's not had a great qualifying in the McLaren. The McLaren is a tricky beast around here. Certainly not one of the more OP cars, but and it can really, really kill you if you get it wrong. Neil Wood on the left-hand side, Lee Perkins and P21. Chris Brooker, our other M-Class driver, P22. Kieran Reid, the number 5, and Tom Kidman, followed by Thomas Verstuck, who's going to be right at the back of the grid. Gets to watch what we hope to be a very clean race start from the best spot on the grid.
Yep. And sometimes last can be the, as you said, the best place to start around here, because usually further up it can get quite tight.
30 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, you know, that's the whole thing. You know, you get through turn 1. Even turn 1 can be an absolute disaster if you go too many wide through there, or if someone decides to do a send, or if someone tries to go around the outside and brakes late. So that can be tricky. Then you've really got to kind of get the order sorted out by the time you get to Griffin's Bend. If you're on the outside into Griffin's Bend, good luck, you're losing a position. Simple as that. And then you're going to have to figure out a single file as you head up towards Quarry, because if you're not single file by that point, you know, we see everyone's been involved in an accident or see a car sideways across there. I mean, I think it was in the recent Bathurst race, we saw a BMW essentially climb the wall and go for a flip, and it was just the most insane accident. Here in ACC, you usually see a car parked 90 degrees across the road at Quarry, and everyone knows then that it's not going to be a fun trip through that part of the circuit.
No. Well, we've got a formation lap underway here for our last round for Split Blue, but of course do stick around after this race. We will have Split Red coming up for you after this one. Of course, tomorrow we'll also have the North American splits take place. Did you have any predictions for this one, George?
Well, I have to say, I mean, Matthew Lamb was really on the edge with those 59s. My money today is on JB Convoy. I think he's potentially got a chance here, at the very least, to hold on to P2. Obviously, Reynolds behind him going to be a really tricky one. But this top 3, I think it could finish exactly like we see it right now. And I get the feeling, my prediction is that they're going to break away just a little bit. And yeah, before we jump back to you, I just want to go for a couple of housekeeping items. Of course, it is the Simrigs Sprint Series here at Octane Online Racing. And go check out simrigs.com if you are an Octane Online Racing Patreon. You do get 5% off on the website. So if you feel the need, and we do encourage you to go and support us on our Patreon and support the wonderful community that is Octane Online Racing, you will get that 5% discount. So go check it out. You get a purple banner in Discord as well, which is really, really cool. And in addition to that, Season 18 sign-ups will start within the next week or so after the series finishes. Drop rounds still to be calculated, so keep an eye on the results. And then, of course, Misano for the Italian Job Endurance Series coming up on the 13th of July. Yeah, woohoo! It's going to be good.
Love to see it. Love Misano. Unfortunately, we won't be able to race for that one, but should be a spectacular race to watch on for.
Yeah, certainly. Okay, so Alexis, what are your predictions? Chat, let us know what your predictions are as well.
Everyone dies.
Okay, right. Well, someone's got to be the devil's advocate, right?
Serious prediction here. It's hard to put my money past Matty Lamb. He looked very, very fast. Well, my only concern is the straight line speed of that Porsche competitor Mustangs.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. I mean, you know, with the 2 long straights, it's going to be a close race through the start, and obviously everyone on the top 3 is going to have a lot of pace. So, yeah, Matthew Lamb's got his work cut out for him today at Bathurst. That is for absolute sure. I mean, Ashton Reynolds just really needs to finish the race, doesn't he? Everyone getting caught out already. Come on, Split Blue.
Good thing
Come on.
It's formation lap, but yeah. We'll start going side by side very, very soon, and we'll get a race start for this one.
Yep, exactly right. We've got some votes in chat. JC from Craig Dale. Yep, that's along the lines that I'm predicting. Lamb to Bennett and Rage Quit from Will Capriciado. Well, that's quite the prediction. That's a bold one. I don't think Matthew Lamb's going to bin it, but I mean, look, you never know. This is the thing. It's Bathurst. Anything can happen at a circuit like this, and it's a 60-minute race, totally flat out, essentially qualifying conditions for 60 minutes with 2 stops. So a lot can go wrong.
Well, here's one thing. Christoph said he's not sure if he'll get to the end because he's having to do right foot braking. So because he said that, he's just jinxed himself to win this one.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, I was going to say that might be a detriment, but I think in this case it might. Someone did suggest. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it. Chat, being cheeky as always. Well, we're on for the race start. Alexis, take us away, mate, because 60 minutes starts in just a few moments' time.
Yeah, we got Lamb, Convoy, Reynolds, Brimblecombe, Murphy, Vediger, Burton, Ellis, Thistlethwaite, and Parkin will run down the main straight for a little bit, and then we'll get a green flag to set off for the final round of Split Blue, and we are underway, and it's a brilliant start from Lamb. Convoy's been caught napping. Reynolds is up the inside. Is there going to be any calamity in the turn one? There's a few three wides, but they're all being pretty calm and considerate. Convoy's gotten the better exit compared to Reynolds, and it looks like Murphy's gotten the jump over. Brimblecombe's going to come back around the outside into Griffin's Bend. Good luck doing that. Burton also on the outside of Vediger. Griffin's Bend, good luck doing that. Oh, Brimblecombe's going to try and do it, and he's been turned and into the wall, and that's... Oh, can they all get through? I think most of them are, but there's... Oh, that was a bit of an incident there for Brimblecombe. He's going to be a bit disappointed with that one, but as we take a look at the camera going through the cutting, looks like they all got through past Brimblecombe. They're continuing on forward in this race. It is still Lamb out front from Convoy, Reynolds, then Murphy, Venegar, Burton, Ellis, Thistlethwaite, Parkin, and Johnston, your top 10.
Yeah, we said at the beginning, you know, go around the outside at Griffin's Bend and it's all going to go wrong. Well, it did indeed go wrong, and it was just a sort of double tap, really, then at the end of the day. And Sean Brimblecombe did manage to get the brakes on, which was good. And no one else, I can confirm, no one else was involved in an incident there. A few little shuffles up at the bottom of the grid with regards to that. Some braking a little bit more, don't want to get involved in any incidents. Early on, avoiding damage early on as well, very key. But Brimblecombe's going again. So, that's the Covenant McLaren or Ferrari. That is the Ferrari, yeah.
Did he keep it out of the wall, or did Parkin? That is the question.
Didn't look like he did, I'll be honest.
No, if he did, then that is some avoidance. But look out front, Murphy has been left in the dust by the two Mustangs, and Convoy and Reynolds all over the back of Matthew Lamb.
Yeah, I mean, you said it before, the Mustangs on the straight going to really pull up the rear wing of that Porsche. It's exactly what's happened. But also JC and Ashton Reynolds just really fast through the top of the mountain and down as well. They're just keeping pace with the Porsche. It's usually going to be a bit better through that section, but, you know, Matthew Lamb's just going to increase the speed from this point, I suspect.
Yeah, like, he has to have clean middle sectors over the mountain every single lap, because if he makes one slight error, as we look at Brimblecombe's slight error, yeah, just not leaving enough room for Murphy on the inside, unfortunately. There was a little bit of
yeah, so no other incidents, but yeah, no other incidents, but Bendik certainly had his heart in his mouth for a while there. That was scary. Oh, look how close JC is now. He's going to be experiencing a little bit of error wash, but clearly not affecting him too much, which is excellent. He's got the hot breath of Ashton Reynolds on his neck as well, so he's under pressure from behind and got an opportunity in front of him. Little tap of the wall there from Matthew Lamb. He's already trying to find the absolute limit with the Porsche at this stage, which he absolutely needs to do. Full push through and up the hill we go in towards Frog Hollow. Such a confidence part of the circuit as well. Get it wrong and you're in a barrier.
Yeah, he wants to try and break those Mustangs in the third gear. He's going to push as hard as he can, force Convoy and Reynolds to push as hard as they can over the top. Oh, it always looks so close. In fact, it was quite close. Convoy barely pulled it up in time for the dipper, and he's lost a fair bit of time to Lamb here, so that's going to a bit of breathing room, but that's going to quickly disappear as they get onto the straight.
Oh, I love that exit there by JC as well. We're on board with the replay. Here's the number 367, Parkin. Well, he did put it in the wall, and that's what created that little bit of a concertina effect there. Piper's going to try and come through there too. So a couple of cars going side by side, but yeah, that's a bit of damage. Side damage though, Alexis, so it's not always the most critical of damage to take at a circuit like this.
Yeah, we'll see. It wasn't a huge hit, but it could have still done a little bit of steering damage to that Ferrari. So I'll have to see what happens to Parkin from here. He's dropped down to P13, so it's not too bad, but I will definitely be talking with him after the race, just giving him a few words.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just for the braking zone there, it's so tricky. You come around flat around the corner of the right-hander, and you know, if you're putting in the braking input just that little bit early, the car will tend to sort of step out, or the rear will certainly step out, and then of course it's immediately downhill. So once you're sort of sideways and going downhill, you can't brake anymore, and you're a passenger.
Yeah, that's it. You just get stuck in between a rock and a hard place, or in this case, a wall.
Yeah, that's right. And we've had a few comments in chat talking about turn 2, Griffin's Bend, of course. And you can, yeah, I do agree with chat. You can go side by side there, but you really, if you're on the outside, you need to have a car's overlap to force the inside line car to be a lot slower through the apex. Otherwise, you're going to get tapped, essentially, because you're going to have to turn it at some point.
You could also leave some room for the car on the inside to
well, that also does help, yes.
Well.
Yeah, that does help, yeah.
It's not like you can just magically make a car disappear. As the pit window now does open, so if drivers do want to make their first of 2 mandatory stops, they can. As Lamb's made a little bit of a mistake going through the second pile of the S's, but that in turn has compromised Convoy's exit. So he's had to drop back on the exit of the Dipper. So it's going to ebb and flow, this one. It's going to really ebb and flow.
Yeah, exactly. And it might a lot of this might actually come down to how well you get into your pick box. You know, and there's Matthew Lamb there trying to break the slipstream. Convoy's trying to also do the same with Reynolds. It does miss out on that little bit of a whiff. Won't matter too much until this point right here. Then the advantage of the slipstream will really come their way. Just looking at the grid now. Kidman up 5 positions. Brooker up 4 positions. Neil Wood up 5 positions. Fleming and Johnson up 3 and 2 positions respectively. The rest up 1 position because of Sean Brimblecomb's issue. And we did see a number of strategies in previous splits. Most people just, pitting at the 20-minute mark. Oh, that was a little bit of a moment on the exit there for JC. There's a yellow flag in the chase. The 21 car has had a problem. That's Grant Begg. Yeah. Uh-oh. What's he done?
Been quite a big one into, yeah. Well, let's have a look. Is it going to be a curb? Yep.
It is. Yep. Well,
that's usually the case. Oh, does he pull it up in time before? Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, he turned the steering the right direction despite moving backwards and got on the brakes. That's what you need to do in a situation like that. That's a nasty curb to take, especially when you're looking. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, that's going to be a little bit of an interesting pit strategy there. We've got Horsburgh in the pits too, as well as Lewis. And I was just about to say that most people will be aiming to pit in about 13 minutes. Well, I can understand with Brimble, he's probably holding a little bit of damage that he doesn't really want to, but we have seen people pit early in this race and still be able to pull off a reasonably good performance, but you will be going a little bit longer on those tyres. Oh my goodness, Reynolds. Wow.
Talk about fine line. That is very, very close to the wall at Sylvan Park.
Yeah, not a place you want to be getting close and comfortable with the barrier, that's for sure. I don't think he actually touched the wall at all. I don't think there was any contact there at all. If it was absolutely nothing in it.
I think he just avoided it, but it had to have some wits about him to definitely avoid it.
Yeah, like if you do get a little bit, well, I don't know if it's due to too much speed, but if you ride the curb on the exit through Frog Hollow,
yeah, he just avoided it. Wow, that is as tight as you want to get it.
You know what that is? That's the AWS very, very close measurement. There's probably a millimeter in that.
We need the AWS insights.
Yeah, that's right. How close was he to the wall? Half a pixel.
Or you have the Brimblecombe or Parkin incidents in the wall, negative 5 centimeters.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. The game won't be able to calculate the zero value there. I mean, they basically moved the barrier, and it's a shame that the game doesn't actually replicate that, but probably for the better. Out of the pits there, that looks like
that is Brimblecombe. So he's been lapped in the pits.
Yeah. Oh, that's gotta hurt because you would have been in that position. We're on board here.
Oh dear. That's close onto the grass.
Certainly is. Yeah, I can't imagine Brimblecombe's particularly happy right now. He's obviously had that incident in turn 2 on lap 1, now finds himself in the same position, but a lap down. Ouch.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, if he wants, he can always just follow along the leaders, but yeah, his race from here is pretty much gone.
Yeah, exactly right. And we've actually got Harsh Kumar in chat. Welcome into everyone in chat, by the way. Thank you for all the comments in chat so far. Lovely to see them. Harsh Kumar's in chat saying undercutting is a bad idea here. Ruining his decision yesterday to pit at the 10-minute mark and then try and do 2 longer stints. I think it could have worked, but the pace has got to be there over the longer stints. You've got to be still going absolutely flat out, otherwise it really doesn't work.
Yeah, it's all about keeping that commitment going throughout the whole stint. Like in these shorter races, you cannot let up like you would in an endurance race like the 12 hours of Bathurst that we always do every year.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, across a 12-hour stint, or a 2-hour stint, I should say. A 12-hour stint would be pretty intense. But 2-hour stint, you do have the opportunity to kind of back off a bit, you know, regain your confidence. But here right now, and this is why these top three are doing such an impressive job right now. I mean, they are going absolutely flat out at the moment. 59.7. 0-2 from Ashton Reynolds is the fastest lap right now. All three of them that previous lap was, well, actually, all three of them apart from Ashton Reynolds was a 59. So 59.7 from Convoy and Lamb. Reynolds was a 2-minute flat. So he did lose a little bit on that last lap. Let's see across the line what's it going to be. Another 59.6. Oh my goodness. A 59.690 from Matthew Lamb. A 59.692 from Jamie Convoy. 2/10 in that lap between them. And then Ashton Reynolds behind them, a 6.45 for another fastest lap of this race. The paces are absolutely intense.
Most definitely. These three are in a league of their own. Murphy starting to break clear of Vediger, who's under a fair bit of pressure from Burton, who is doing another brilliant job. He's been quite quick in that Honda in qualifying, but in fact, so closely side by side, going around the outside. Man, no.
Yeah. It's just, it's so rare to see it work that when it does work, we all get up from our chairs and we celebrate. Because when you see it, it really is something special. Every other time you see an overtake attempt there, it does not work out for the car on the outside. It's just as simple as that. And you see what he had to do there was he, you know, almost, I don't know if there was actually contact. There might not have been, to be fair, but he had to back out of that massively. And then, of course, he compromised all the way up the hill.
Yeah, although he's managed to keep things rolling for the time being, nice and close to the back of Vediger. That BMW just doesn't seem to have the pace to go with the other drives. That's Lamb in the wall. Lamb has made a big error, and he spun it into the wall, and Convoy leads.
Oh my goodness. Wait, there was a prediction in chat earlier on that this was going to happen. Well, it has happened. Lamb losing positions, hand over fist right now. P7, cars going through like crazy. He can't move. He's stuck there.
Yeah, Wilkie Appreciato with that prediction that Lamb would bid it into the wall. And it has happened. Matthew Lamb with the error coming out of the dipper. A Porsche ting seems to have happened. And now it's a straight fight between the Mustangs out front.
Wow. That's absolutely massive. We will get a replay up of that at some point soon. Matthew Lamb still sitting still. All the cars have now gone past him.
He's returned the pits.
Yes, he has.
And he's blinked. Has he? Wait, no, he's...
No, he's stuck on track. He's stuck on track. He's still out there at Forest Elbow, just before Forest Elbow.
It was just blinking for a bit, that's all.
Yeah, that's right. He's in P15 right now, according to my timing sheet. I think he might be further down than that.
He is moving.
Wow, but that car, I'm going to go on for a little bit of a look and see what his steering looks like. Oh yeah, he's having problems. We'll keep on board with this fight. Reynolds and Convoy now going for it. That was massive for Matthew Lamb. He's got him going finally at long last, but he is sitting well down the order. He had to let the entire grid go through.
Oh dear, it was looking so good for Matthew Lamb on return. So we take a look. Oh no, he hit the inside wall on the exit of the dipper.
Oh man.
So just too much commitment and too much wall.
Wow.
That was very akin to what Chaz Mostert had happened to him a few years ago. You'll see just an inside wall here.
Oh.
I
think he was really trying to get to the outside to open up the entry into Forest Elbow, but just a little bit too much, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think Mostert happened a little bit. Started a little bit further back when he had his big accidents. I think that was I can't remember now, but it was definitely a huge accident there in the supercars for him, and another big accident there for Matthew Lamb that time.
I think it was impact on the right, then he went to the left, and then went to the right again, wasn't it? It was a number of barriers that were picked up in the supercars race.
Huge number of barriers, and gliding over the left-hand barrier itself.
Yeah, that I remember seeing that on YouTube. That was a big accident, and I mean, luckily for Lamb, it wasn't too big. I mean, I saw his steering, had a little quick look. It was slightly bent, but it'll be mostly suspension damage that he's got all the way around the car. That'll be the thing that he's in the pits now, so he's going to get that repaired and get going again. So don't think we're going to see him back up in this battle, but I do expect to see him make a number of overtakes as he makes his way back through the field. On board now with Ashton Reynolds, all bit of counter steer there on the exit, trying to wrangle that massive engine, and all the torque gets applied to the rear wheels there. Does manage to get it wrangled. He's got a decent little bit of slipstream here. Convoy might be in a bit of trouble. I don't think he's going to be close enough, though.
No. Getting word in from Babby in chat. Apparently his monitor turned off.
Oh, you are kidding. That, no way. That is just, right, well, there's the new challenge, Matthew Lamb. Got to drive Bathurst blind. That is...
I mean, he likely turned it back on after everything happened, but
Yes.
yeah.
But you know what I mean? Especially at that moment as well. I mean, if that happens down Conrad Straight, you've got the opportunity to, you know, slowly apply the brake. You'll generally be in an okay position, but down the hill, I mean, yeah, that's super unlucky.
That is unfortunate, to say the least.
Yeah, and what a three-way battle we were going to have, because he was, yeah, really in charge, but being chased down by these two Fords here. And now it's just up to Conboy. Can he bring this one home? He's got a charging Ashton Reynolds behind him, and if he manages to pull this one out, it's going to be a really good victory for JC, and he'll be absolutely stoked as well.
It's not going to be easy for him. 44 minutes to defend, and 2 mandatory pit stops with tyres, so he has to keep that in mind as we watch Piper battling with Fleming in the number 20 Mustang. Can Piper do anything in his Homobile 26 Audi down the straight? We'll have a nice slipstream, and that Audi isn't terrible in a straight line, but we know how good that Mustang is. Look at how much Piper's gaining. It's not going to be easy though. He's going to have to back out of it and try it into the chase. Is he? No, he's not going to do it. But has Fleming gone too deep? Yes, he has. That's going to open Piper up on the exit. But once again, Fleming is going to hold that inside line going into Murray's corner and try and compromise as much as possible Piper. But now Piper trying to switch back. He's not going to get much done there. So Fleming defending with all his might and allowing Parkin to get back into the equation.
Yeah, Covenant is on the way on the rear, and he's such good entry speed there into Hell Corner. And I mean, it's a good tactic, and you know, in the chase, if you can kind of spook your opponent into braking just that little bit later, they will get compromised on the exit of the chase, and that opens up a really good opportunity into Murray's, especially. In fact, particularly if you do get the inside line. Otherwise, it's sort of very reminiscent of what happens at turn 1 and turn 2, where the outside line is just completely useless for overtaking.
Yeah, Fleming is really sort of holding up this pack now. Piper looks a lot quicker at this stage and just can't find an avenue past. And yeah, look, Parkin, he was about a second back before, now right there with Piper. So if Piper makes any rash move, Parkin will be there to capitalize.
Yeah, I mean, the Audi's got good top speed. We saw it at least compared to Fleming ahead. And so if the Ferrari, I mean, the Ferrari's been a bit of a weapon around here, that's for sure. We saw that in Split Yellow, just a Ferrari party at the top of the grid. Every Ferrari is just super, super fast, got great turn-in, good downshifts, of course, as well. So you get that thing tuned right, and it has become an absolute weapon. So he should get a pretty good run and good apex speed through Forest Elbow. It should give him a good launch onto the straight. So there'll be kind of a double slipstream effect here for the Covenant Racing car parking in it if he gets a good exit. I don't think that was the best exit, but neither was it for Piper, so they're a little bit separated now. Might just have let Fleming off the hook.
Yeah, for the time being, but it's going to come back to him. Meanwhile, this battle out front still rages on, and Reynolds is a lot closer on this occasion. If he gets the exit out of Hell Corner, he might be able to have a go into turn 2, provided Conboy doesn't defend the inside, but I think Conboy will be starting to really defend. He's got to be careful here of the assault from Reynolds, but I think Reynolds might just be a bit too far back on this occasion. Meanwhile, Burton is in the pits.
There we go. So yeah, about the 20-minute mark. We're about 18 minutes and 30 seconds in at the moment. So
also in.
Oh, okay, yeah. So there's a number. I mean, it's fair enough, especially if you're in a battle and you know you need to go at about 20 minutes, get in, try and get some clean air on the exit. We shall see. Both of these two here at the top, they're actually starting to slow down a little bit. No more 59s out there on the current state of tyres, 18 minutes in. So JC and Reynolds both now in the 2-minute .1s, which is still incredibly fast, at least by my standard. But they're starting to slow down, so the tyres probably just starting to reach a point where they're not quite as grippy as they were about 5 or 10 minutes ago. But JC is still doing really well. I mean, look at the confidence through Solomon Park there. Maximum effort, maximum send. And that's the...
too much
bit too much. Yeah, too much green flag racing right there. And Reynolds is going to be right on him.
Yeah, look at how close he is. Will Reynolds have a dive into Forest Elbow? No, he thinks better of it. Can Conboy get the exit speed? It's going to be tight. I think he's got it for the time being. And just some word in on Lamb. Apparently, Bindit trying to unlap himself, and now he's gone.
Oh no. So yeah, we're down to 24 cars on the grid. So wow, appreciado. That, I mean, yeah, call it a curse, call it what you want, but the prediction apparently spot on, unfortunately so. Really hoping you weren't right, but turns out you were. That's yeah, gutting to see Lamb out of the grid today.
Yeah, most definitely. And just
Ooh,
like
Reynolds
to
pitting.
shout out once again our fantastic cameraman Benjamin Hignett. As yeah, here we go, Reynolds in the pits.
Yeah, beautiful cameraman indeed. Benjamin doing brilliant work as always. has yet to bring upon a broadcaster's curse the likes of what we saw with Brent Sykes yesterday in Split Yellow. For those that haven't seen it, go and rewatch the Split Yellow coverage on the YouTube channel from yesterday, because it was the most amazing debut broadcaster's curse I think I've ever seen in my life. So this is a good strategy here from Reynolds, I think, because now he can get out in a bit of clean air, and it's going to come down to his hot lap. Also forces Convoy to think about pulling the trigger as well at the end of this lap.
Yeah, I'd say Convoy will be in at the end of this one. It looks like Reynolds may have just had the slight pace advantage over Convoy. And yeah, so I reckon we'll see JC in on this lap, and hopefully we'll see them nice and tight when they all come out as Convoy just a little bit on the grass through Reed Park. He's going to be careful here. He doesn't want to make too many of those little mistakes.
Yeah, and you know, he's trying to push. He wants to obviously get a good lap here, because this is going to help cover off whatever Ashton Reynolds does do after his outlap, and or through his outlap, that's for sure. So yeah, if he can maximize his pace through this lap, it's absolutely key. But you know, he pushed it just that little bit too far, and Bathurst will quite happily take another scalp and send you to the barrier, send you into the pits with 20 seconds of damage, and you can really end your race very, very quickly. And especially at the end of the stint, when you're just about to have that little bit of a break. You know, you do feel sometimes that either the confidence goes too hard, or you end up in a situation where you make a small mistake. And we, you know, talk about it all the time. One moment, 1 millisecond of loss of focus here is a trip to the barrier.
Yeah, it can be catastrophic, and so far for JC, he's managed to keep it all together. Pit stops have been an issue for him in the past, so if he does choose to come in on this lap, which he does, he needs to make sure it is all nice and clean. And remember, at least this, oh, that's a little bit of a cut there, but that should be fine. It keeps it to the 50. And here is Reynolds.
Boy, oh boy, this could be really close on exit. I mean, that was an interesting line. Optimistic line, certainly, into the pits, but, you know, it should be valid. There shouldn't be any issues with that whatsoever. I always get the entry wrong here at Bathurst. It's just an absolute nightmare for me, but probably haven't practiced it enough. Always practicing the lap and not the pit entry.
Yeah, it's certainly not an easy entry to the pits, but you have to do it regardless. Reynolds heading down towards the chase now. You'd think JC would have to start moving very, very soon if he wants any chance of staying out ahead. Keep an eye on it. Through the chase now. Oh, he's moving, but how fast is he going to go down this pit lane?
Let's see, he's about halfway down right now. We had the second camera up just a moment ago. He's just about to come through towards the pit exit in a few moments' time. It's going to be really close.
He's going to come out ahead, but will he stay ahead?
Well, that's the question. He's not going to have the speed.
He's not even going to come out ahead.
Wow.
He hasn't turned off his pit limiter.
Oh, no way.
Oh, he's got... Well, stop go 30. He's spent pits.
Okay, that must have been on entrance. Or, well, yeah, probably on entry.
That would have been why he didn't turn off his pit limiter.
Dear, oh dear. Well, that's gone all wrong for Jamie Convoy. And Reynolds goes up into the lead of this race. He's holding the fastest lap. Oh, my goodness.
I did say that the pit stops haven't been his strong point this season. And unfortunately, here it's come to bite him. Probably the worst time for him.
Yeah, that was going to be...
It was the exit. It was the exit.
Oh,
he turned off the pit limiter too soon.
Oh, he was too eager. Oh, that's even worse. Oh, dear. Yeah, it did look like his entry was okay. We're going to get a replay. All right, keep an eye on the speedo, so it'll tick up at 50.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's just done it immediately. He shifted up. He shifted up.
Did he even shift up? Did he even shift up?
It might not have been.
It stayed in first gear.
Oh, either way, he was well above that 50 kilometers an hour just moments after he exited his pit box. Oh, what a disaster.
Are the sort of things that can happen under pressure. really, really unfortunate for JB Comboy. He was doing so well up front, and now he's got a big penalty to pay for some errors in the pits.
Yeah, too right. So we had the three-way battle that we were looking forward to for the remaining 45 minutes of this race. Then went one down when Matthew Lamb unfortunately had an issue, put it in the wall, and yeah, was stuck sideways and had another incident and said, no, that's it, that's me today. On return as well. And then, of course, now Jamie Conboy with the stop go 30 on the exit of the pit box, not even the pit lane, exit of the pit box. And, I mean, sometimes that can happen. I've done that before when my hand slips over. I'm hovering over the pit limiter. And then, you know, whether it's you know, by turning the wheel or whatever it is, you just slip your finger across that button and suddenly you're at 75 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, you surfing that stop go 30 now. So he's essentially doing a whole other pit stop.
Oh, man. 3-stop strategy, not optimal.
No, that's rough. That's really rough. As that's stuck around at the exit of Griffins. He does turn it around. Will he be able to get it going before there's other drivers? He pulls it off to the side. That's probably smart.
Yeah. What this does do to the order, though, is it puts Chris Murphy into a really, really good position. He was running 6 seconds behind that pack of 3, now then a pack of 2, now a pack of 1. So he's actually running P2 in this race as Chris Murphy, assuming he gets out of the pits ahead of Joshua Vedega, which he should do. And then Joshua Vedega, from starting, he was P7, I think it was, now up into 3rd place in this race.
Yeah, so big gains for Vedega, because yeah, Burton's dropped behind both Vedega and Ellis in this race, so Burton's got a bit of a challenge ahead of him. So we'll see what happens with Murphy in this one. He is in the pits right now. And
yes,
yeah,
he is.
I would say, given where Vedega is on track,
Oh,
should
easy,
be able
easily.
to come out ahead pretty easily.
Oh, easy peasy. Oh, Chris Murphy's actually stopped his car. Oh no, sorry, that's because he's pitting. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, excuse me, folks.
So, meanwhile, JC has dropped down to P16.
There we go. Right, well, we're now 27 minutes into this race, 33 minutes to go. What an eventful split blue this has been so far for the finale. 21 degrees Celsius out on track, 19 ambient, so the temperature has come down just that little bit. No wind out there at all, a little bit of cloud cover, beautiful conditions for racing. 6:20 p.m. So we do expect now the temperatures to slowly drop, probably getting down another couple of degrees Celsius by the end of the race. Probably no real issue, but in that last stint, you just got to make sure you maybe make just a couple of adjustments if you want to your PSIs. Probably not completely necessary though. Just throw on another step, whatever the PSIs are, and go for it.
Yeah, you don't need another step for the I think, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
Murphy has come out of the pits behind Reynolds and well clear of Vedega, so should be fine to carry on from here. We'll keep an eye on the gaps for you. Gap first second to split is 5.1 seconds, so he has actually gained using the overcut.
Yeah, it's actually it was a really, really good pit stop by Chris Murphy. It was 32 seconds stopped, whereas Ashton Reynolds was 33 seconds stopped. Jamie Conboy was 34. So that at the moment is equal best with Ashley Johnson. Chris Murphy and Ashley Johnson are 32 flat for stop time there. So that's a really, really good quick pit stop. Gained him a little bit of time, but you know, with the pace that Ashton Reynolds was putting on, Chris Murphy's going to have a lot of work to do at a more significant pace than he was doing earlier in this race. Burton catches a wall there. Exeter Frog Hollow, love to see it. Also hate to see it because it's such a dangerous area. No damage will be incurred by that, and he'll go on through in the Honda that is the Brave Honda.
Yes, the Honda that could.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Honda that got massively bullied in previous races.
Yep, Red Bull Ring was certainly an adventure for Burton as well as it was for Murphy.
Yeah, too right. It's actually sitting pretty close behind Breno Ellis, so this could be on between them. P5 is up for grabs. Vedega is actually P4, sorry, up for grabs because Neil Wood has just come into the pits. He was provisionally leading this race. He will now come in to do his first pit stop. That'll be the last person to do their first pit stop of the race. And we have Tom Kidman, P22, and that is the total number of cars now on the grid. So we've had a number of dropouts, unfortunately, throughout this race, down from P25 on the grid to 22. Here's an action replay where we see how close it is. That is inside the barrier.
That is a bomb.
Yeah, it certainly is. I get sort of bonked back onto track though, luckily. So as long as you pick up the inertia of the car just after it, then you're usually fine to continue through McPhillamy.
Yeah. fair way behind Ellis at this stage. I think Ellis might have a little bit more pace at the minute compared to the Honda, so I'll have to see what happens, but either way, Burton is doing a nice job there in P5.
Yeah, exactly right. So we'll go for this lovely onboard here with Burton. Through the quarry we go. Good line so far through there. Full flat through here as much as you can. Get it turned in. Usually an upshift there just to make sure you get the car turned in. And then the braveness. Look for the tree. Straight ahead. Get your turn-in point. Flat through there if you can possibly manage it, which most cars will do. Some do still require a bit of a lift. You've got to absolutely nail the exit there. Ooh, a little bit of a moment on the exit. Not exactly the confidence-inspiring thing you want to have before you jump into the skyline. Down he goes, gets it turned in nice and sharp through there. Get a little bit loose on the exit of the dipper. It's going to compromise him just a little bit. And I just love this part of the circuit. Downhill, watch out for the ABS. Don't lock the brakes too much. Don't go too hard on the brakes either, because that circuit is dropping away from you rapidly. Oh, I love that part of the circuit.
It is spectacular. The speed you carry through those fast corners, you get just almost a passenger really in a rail car.
Yeah.
Yeah, really just keep focused. As we saw earlier, one little error can cause a lot of issues as we watch good under pressure from Scanlon. Scanlon should be able to get a solid exit. I think Wood actually got the superior exit there, so it should be clear to carry on fourth.
Yeah, the Ferraris on the exit, the apex speed there for Spross Elbow have been pretty superior to most cars. And then, of course, they get the power down really nicely, and the rear end just locks in beautifully with that very advanced TC system that they're running there. So it's a good run for Wood. No opportunity for Scanlon at all this time round. He will go again. Good exit by both of them through the chase, hard on the brakes, and then through they go. No opportunity for Scanlon, so he'll have to just tuck into the rear wing of the Ferrari for now. And yeah, this is the battle for P10, the last spot in the top 10. One pit stop to go, and as highlighted by chat, things could change because, you know, with the pit stops, things just get shuffled around so much.
And we're at Bathurst. Anyone can go into the wall at any second, as we've already made very, very clear. But so far, most of these drivers have kept it pretty neat and tidy.
Yeah, we haven't really seen any major incidents, no multi-car pile-ups, so everyone's been pretty sensible at Bathurst this time out. And you do occasionally see it, you know, when you've got good weather like this. I think Split Green had a number of incidents, but, you know, when you're in the full wet, trying to go full send in what's essentially a sprint race with, like, qualifying settings through 60 minutes, it's not a fun combination. See Wood there, missed the apex up the hill through the cutting. So not compromised really too much with the BMW. Doesn't look like it's particularly good on the power up the hill there for some reason.
Meanwhile, we're missing Fleming from this race. It seems like he's disconnected as well.
Oh, wow. Yes, we are now down to 21 cars on the grid.
He was performing quite well before. He was fighting with Piper and Parker. And he could have found himself very well in like P8 in this race so far. So it's unfortunate there for Fleming, but what it has allowed is Piper and Parker to carry on with their days.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's one of those things, isn't it? You know, if you survive and don't get into any incidents or don't make any mistakes, you're bound to make positions. And so, especially in endurance race setting, generally the optimal strategy is just to dial it back to 80% and try not to drive too fast, because you minimize the number of mistakes you make at a place like this, and it gives you positions.
Yeah, that's it. You just really need to keep it clean around here. That's the moral of the story here. Keep it clean and you'll be safe. This is what happened to Fleming, and it was DC. Yeah,
DC straight out, and that's really unfortunate. Yet another contender out for the final round. You hate to see it. We've had 4 cars drop out so far. Just see a yellow flag come up as well. Looks like Horsburgh maybe on the exit of the chase, so something's potentially happened to Garth Horsburgh. He's having an interesting one, let's put it that way. Here's Brent Sykes for KA Motorsports.
He just got past Perkins there. Perkins is going to try and come back into turn 1, but I don't think he's going to be able to do much unless he dives it from a long way back, but he has to back out of it, and that is Sykes up to P14.
Very nice. Classic move through Murray's. Here's Burton once again. Still got Breno Ellis just ahead of him. Gap's only 0.5 of a second at the moment, so nothing really in it. There's a lot of big gaps happening at the front. P1, P2, the gap there, 7.5 seconds up from 5.1. So as expected, Ashton Reynolds putting in the 59s and just running away with things at the moment. And what could have been up there with the top three? They were in for a battle. I'm gutted that we didn't get to see that today.
Yeah, definitely takes the wind out of your sails a little bit, knowing what sort of race we could have had around here. But while we had Lamb drop out, Convoy is making his way back through the field. He's up to P12 and is only about 5 seconds off of the top 10 here.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be right up the battle with Neil Wood and Scanlon pretty soon. We know, obviously, Convoy's got pace to be right at the top up there with Ashton Reynolds, so he will be navigating the circuit. Well, currently, the deficit, the last lap there, 2:07, whereas Scanlon ahead at 2:02.8. So he's, you know, nearly, or just above, in fact, 2 seconds a lap faster than the position 11, position 10, and all the way pretty much up until P3, where the just getting into the 2 minutes on that last lap, 2:09 for P3 and P4, Joshua Belliger and Breno Ellis. Logan Burton still going a little bit slower than that, but his best is a 2:05. So we know that JC is capable of doing the low 2 minutes consistently and dropping into the 59s occasionally. So he will be rapid at the end of this race.
Meanwhile, Piper's coming to the pits. I believe he may have actually dropped behind Parker somewhere, so may have made a mistake in the 26 and decided to come into the pit lane. So we'll see what happens to Piper from here. Currently, the lead driver who has made all their pit stops is Horsbrook down in 2019, 5.4 seconds clear of Reed.
That's right, and then Kidman rounds out the field at the bottom of the grid right now. Piper will be well ahead of them, so he will be the lead car that has completed 2 pit stops by the time he comes out of the pit exit. Then the question is, who's going to pull the gap? I mean, 23 minutes ago, we'll expect to see, a flurry of pit activity in the next minute and a half to 3 minutes as people come in for that one third strategy.
Yeah, there'll be a few on that one third strategy, but I have a feeling most drivers will be coming in from about 15 minutes ago, as this is what happened to Piper. Is it going to be too late on the brakes?
Yeah, he did everything he could to try and get that thing stopped, but yeah, it was just too late. Once you're sideways there, I mean, it's just like ice. Just basically everywhere in the circuit, if you're sideways, the track will just kind of throw you to the wind, really.
Oh, Burton's made an error. That's too deep. And he's around, is he? Yep.
Barrier.
That's a big hit.
Car wanted to go to the hotel.
Well, don't drive backwards for too long there, or else you're getting disqualified by the game.
Yeah, exactly right. He's still got a yellow flag against Brent Sykes at the moment. It looks like he's had an issue at a similar place. Logan Burton still... He's also got another yellow flag there for the 49 car.
I know, he's just got it going again.
Oh, that was Burton going again. Brent Sykes then had a problem at...
Yes, Sykes has a lot of damage.
Yeah, I think he had an issue down the hill or maybe at Skyline, so we'll try and get a replay of that.
It would have been a lot earlier than that, because it started as he came through sort of like Reed Park into the metal grate here at Frog Solo.
Oh yeah, okay, so he's had a multi-barrier collision there, let's put it that way.
Yes.
Oh man, look at the car, it's just absolutely demolished. Yikes.
So this is what happened to Burton. He was way too deep into the chase, and the car just got around him as he got onto the throttle on the grass. And yeah, that is significant damage to the front end of that Honda. See how he got it turned around pretty smoothly, I'd say.
Again, maybe he did. Not quite sure. Right. It's Chris Murphy. He's sitting in P2 and making his way past the blue flag traffic. That is Piper, who has come out in P17. Actually, a lot closer to Horsburgh than I thought.
Yes. Well, I mean, Horsburgh was sort of around the... what was it earlier? It was the... Sykes.
Yes, that's right.
But obviously Sykes had his issues.
Too right. Well, and then we have...
Probably the better comparison would be Perch there in P12.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually, yeah. So Burton and Ben Deek now have completed their second stop. Sykes is in the pit because he's got a completely wrecked car at the moment. And, yeah, let's have a look at what's happened.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it is.
Oh, that's massive. That is huge.
Wow. Right, left, right.
Oh, got a little bit of an extra love tap for good measure from Ben Deitch.
So he's just hobbled his way all the way. That's why we saw the yellow flag for so long, because he's hobbled his way all the way across the mountain and back into the pits.
Yeah, look, yeah, he had to run it down, straight lining the S's. Not ideal.
Oh, I don't think he's got a lot of turn in that car right now. Well,
he wouldn't be changing the car much right now because he's in the pits.
Exactly. Yeah, he stopped again. Wow, I should probably learn something about pit stops. Cars stop. What on earth?
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's nuts.
Meanwhile, Johnston and Parkin are in, so Parkin is reacting to Piper's stop and is now trying to cement his place ahead of the Audi, if possible. Versus, meanwhile, is 9.1 seconds behind him, who still needs to make another stop and is fairway clear of Piper at the moment.
Yeah, exactly right. I was about to mention as well, we've got Jamie Conboy. He did catch up with the battle. He got past Scanlon in pretty short order, and he's made very short work of Neil Wood as well. He's also holding the fastest lap of 59.555. That is rapid pace. He is absolutely sending the Mustang as fast as it can possibly go. He is doing the Mustang drift around Bathurst today.
He wants redemption.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, I think he's got the capability to get back up there. You know, I think he could be knocking on the door of the battle for P4 potentially if he continues with the pace he's shown so far. 18 minutes or 19 minutes to go though. It's going to be a tall order for JC one way or another.
25 seconds on Fisselflate alone.
Yeah. Well, let me do the math on that. Well, he's actually if he does 59s, well then he'll be 2 seconds a lap faster than Cam Fisselwaite. So is that doable? No. That's going to be 12 laps. So that's not happening. P6 most likely for JC in this race.
Yeah, Parkin has found himself in a pretty nice spot. He is quite a long way clear of Piper, who must have had a lot of issues in his pit stop or with some damage. And he's now only 1.7 seconds behind Burton after he had to make his stop for damage. And I think Burton still has that damage on the car, maybe.
He might do, actually. Didn't have a particularly long stop, so...
Yeah, I still have that damage on that car.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So that is not going to do that Honda any good at all. And Parkin might be sniffing up an opportunity here.
Certainly. Well, I'll keep an eye on the lap times that Logan Burton does set. Obviously, the last lap was going to be quite a significantly long one. But yeah, Covenant Ferrari could be knocking on the door in pretty short order. And with 17 minutes to go, there'll be an opportunity for a move in probably a couple of laps' time at most.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens as Reed is getting a penalty there. Not sure how many seconds, but at the moment it's just a 5-second penalty there for Kieran Reed. As that is Ellis coming out of pit lane and well clear of Burton.
Yeah, makes sense. Cam Thistlewaite's in as well. So we'll probably get clear of this battle too.
Now out again, clear of Burton.
Yeah, there we go. So only leaves, what, 7 cars on the grid now, or 6 technically, because Scanlon's also come in. So he's temporarily removed himself from the battle that he was having, but he will be back into that in short order. That just leaves Reynolds, Murphy, Vediger, Conboy, Neil Wood, and Brooker, the ones to pit at the moment. Chris Brooker, I mean, he'll drop down a fair bit in the field, but it's not been a bad race from Brooker so far in the Ford number 83.
Yeah, I'd say it's been pretty respectable from Brooker's point of view. Hasn't made any sort of serious error as far as I'm aware, which at Bathurst you can be proud of that, as Vediger now comes into the pits to make it 5 left to come in.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, you get round 60 minutes of Bathurst, especially in the current conditions. Oh, Burton, no, that's a slap. That's another bonk.
Do not do that too often, please.
Yeah.
Oh,
well.
And they've both done it now. And I think Burton's car is dead.
It doesn't look.
Look at Parkin now. Oh. Parkin on the rear end.
Yeah,
he's got to be careful. He has to be careful. Burton does not have pace in that car anymore. Parkin does not want to be getting that close to the rear of that Honda.
No, you wait for it to be compromised down the straight and then you go for it. You do not try and do an overtake down the hill.
Exit. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's done. It's said and done. That's it. Covenant Racing, Ferrari 367. We'll go on through in a matter of seconds. Burton will try to defend the middle of the road. Or it's going to be a little bit side by side, maybe through the kink.
Nah,
he'll be past
on that Honda. It's
yeah.
easy for the Ferrari.
Yeah, got absolutely no top speed on the Honda now whatsoever. I mean, you can see the gap there. It's gone past them and put 25 meters between them.
Yeah, so I think Burton will be in at the end of this lap.
Might actually have to repair the damage now, given the bonks that he's been involved in.
It wouldn't surprise me if he's at a meatball flag.
Yeah, too right.
Yeah, that's a bonk. And then there was
bonk
another bonk
one
further down at the middle grate. Never want to be wide at the grate.
Yeah, and it's another thing as well. I mean, you know, Parkin went for a little bit of a bonk there on the exit of Frog Hollow as well. And you know, it's nice to follow a car ahead, but you've got to be really careful about the line. And you've just seen a car ahead, you know, bonk into the wall. You go, well, they'll probably be offline, so don't follow them through the corner if you can possibly avoid it. But he was quite close. There's probably a little bit of aero wash involved in that, but luckily for him, it didn't result in any further damage as far as we can tell.
Easier said than done to not follow the car in front into a wall.
Oh, yeah.
Also make the when
Yep.
He's just following that line for the most part. As
that's
Reynolds
right, yeah.
and Murphy are into the pits.
Yeah, and I have to admit, it tracks like the Nürburgring Nordschleife, it is even easier to do that, and that was actually nearly a bonk there as well for
Parkin.
Parkin.
A big old bonk. Oh, yep. And Parkin, decent bonk as well.
Yeah.
So that will be some damage on the right-hand side for Parkin, as it was earlier when he hit the wall here at Forest Elbow. So I wonder if that's just going to cause him a little bit of grief on the steering, but so far he seems to be keeping it pointing in a straight line.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a safe pair of hands can usually adjust for the damage on the car, or maybe it's so little that you don't really notice it. I've certainly been in that situation in Bathurst before. So maybe it's just a situation where he's adjusted to what the damage feels like, and a bit of extra damage there just means he can sort of double down on what he's been doing. We'll see. But here's Vedega. He has completed both of his pit stops now and sitting just behind Brooker. He will be likely overtaken in short order. Brooker's still yet to pit. Conboy and Dealwood both in the pits. Ashton Reynolds and Chris Murphy have also done their pit stops, remain P1 and P2.
Oh, Vedega's going to have a go here. This is going to be tight. Brooker's going to need to back out of it, and he does. Yep, so Brooker not fighting it too hard, just letting drivers go about it. He's going to do his own strategy here, and yep, Vedega back up into third place. That's
another thing you got to be, you know, on top of is the awareness of who's around you. And it might look like it's a position, but you need to be aware of where that car was earlier in the race. And for Brooker, that was not his fight. So did need to back out there and did so exactly right. And you know, as we talked about before, on the outside, turn 2, don't do it. Just don't.
Yeah. Now this is going to be interesting from here. Conboy has come out behind Parkin, so I believe that would be about P9. Yeah, P9.
Yeah, so I think I got a little bit mixed up when we looked at the timing tables earlier on. He's not going to be P6. He was P6 because we had Thistlewaite, Ashley Johnson, and Breno, who had done their exit pit stops, so we're a little bit further behind at P9.
P8 when Brooker comes in, and he could get P7 if he makes it past Parkin. He's got to find 13 seconds in 12 minutes, which he has been very, very fast, but I don't think he's been that level of fast. I don't think he's going to be gaining over 2 seconds on Parkin.
Yeah, I think he'll see Parkin's car by the end of the race, but he'll catch up, but I don't think he'll have an opportunity to overtake, because it will be just, it'll be 2.2 or 2.3 or even 2.5 seconds a lap. Yeah, it's going to be going very, very quickly, let's put it that way.
Yes. So Brooker decides to say he's going to leave it as late as possible and give us commentators a heart attack.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, you love to see it. As of course, pit window just closed in 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Oh dear.
Nice drift.
Well, I hope that convinces them that it's time to pit.
Style points for Brooker there. He's got Ellis all over his rear end. And Ellis should be through in short order. He's going to have to go a long way, but Brooker will let him go, I would suspect.
I think so. We shall see.
Yeah.
The camera does.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah, good. Yeah, because it did force Breno to go around the around the outside, which we've been saying all race long. Just please don't. But when you've got a, you know, someone who's willing to give you the space on the inside, or you know, willing to concede the corner, then it's pretty easy done at the end of the day.
Here we get a nice view of the wall on the exit of Quarry. Beautiful stuff.
Harsh Kumar saying Frog Hollow, most loved wall at Bathurst. Yeah, I think I can agree with that.
Yes. Yeah, we've seen some pretty big accidents there. I remember fondly the big Aston Martin crash there. We had the Aston flip on its roof as well.
Oh yeah.
That was a huge accident going wide through Frog Hollow, or affectionately known as the Metal Grate.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's is usually left with a lot of metal on the barrier out there. Anyone doing advertising there, well, money wasted almost at the end of the day. Ashley Johnson here had a quiet race so far, sitting in P6, will be P5 once Brooker does come into the pits. What a lonely race this man has had, but P5 is nothing to scoff at in a grid like this today.
Oh dear, that is a car run, and I think that's Casey.
Oh, it does look like he's in the middle of the road.
No.
Oh my, no way.
How?
JC just has to stay still. Neil Wood goes through. Or is that Lewis? That's Lewis, I think.
No, that was Wood.
That was Wood. 5-point turn here for JC. Oh, he's got steering damage, hasn't he?
Dear
Piper.
How did they get through that?
I mean, that was so close. And the car before Wood came on through, they were coming in at speed as well. So the reaction time there was very minimal. We should be able to get a replay of that up pretty soon, but I think that's going to be a very scary moment. Benjamin might be able to give us one of his legendary camera angles for that one.
Yeah, indeed. So JC pushing a little too hard, trying to catch up to the back of Parker, and now he's behind Piper and has Mitchell Van Dyke all over his rear end. So this race, which was looking so good earlier on, has fallen to pieces and fallen to shreds, completely dissipated, unfortunately, for the great man.
Yeah, and he'll be in the commentary box for Split Red to recover. Let's put it that way. Yeah, it's so tricky. I mean, you're pushing so hard through this race. I mean, he was doing some incredible lap times there. He was in the 59s.
It was lost the rear end going into the S's, so over Skyline. Oh, that is tough. And look at how fast they are waving the yellow flags there, by the way.
Yeah, there's a real problem down there. This is why they need 2 double yellows. So that was Scanlon who went through, got really, really close to the barrier. So there's obviously just enough space, and then Wood does go through a lot slower. Yeah, they were furiously waving the yellow flags, and rightly so. I mean,
yeah,
JC can't move at that point, because if he tries to do that maneuver, the 5-point turn, then he's gonna back into someone. He's gonna close off the gap.
Yeah. So wow, but yeah, that's probably the most ferocious I've seen those marshals wave yellow flags. Either way, we've got 7.5 minutes to go, 2.5 minutes until the pit window closes, and everyone has done their mandatory stop. Yay!
Yay! And there was much rejoicing.
Brooker is P10.
Oh my goodness. And he's got 3.5 seconds over the top of Piper as well.
That is a genuine P10 there for Chris Brooker. Wow, that is incredible.
Ruatama spin, absolutely sending it. And a top 10 finish here for Brooker would be, I think, his best result of the season.
Yeah, and now we're doing wonders in the M Championship battle because Frushtok ain't here anymore.
I think he's got it anyway, actually, now that I look at the standings. He's leading anyway.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because Thomas Frushtok sitting second in the M class, P35 overall, Brooker P28 overalls. But,
yes.
Yeah.
But further asserting his dominance over the M class field. And speaking of asserting dominance with this livery, it's Mitchell Bendeich all over the back of what is a beautiful, beautiful Pixel Races livery. So you got one of the best liveries on the grid and one of the worst.
Yep. Round 1 fight. Who's going to win? Well, Bendeich is not done particularly well in the exit. Actually, neither of them really got a good exit on through Hell's Corner there. I mean, the Pixel Races car, I think, looks absolutely beautiful. There's something about pink wheels I just cannot do.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've got one of the best liveries of all time, and you've got JC's car.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yes. I just want to clarify as well. I've got nothing against the color pink. It's just on the wheels. It's just Oh,
Yeah, no.
I just can't do it.
If your wheels are anything other than... Oh, JC was slightly into the wall there. If the wheels are anything other than, like, black, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, they're white, you look like a boy racer, and...
You look like the 2020 Alpha Tauri.
Yeah, that's exactly right, yeah. Not a look that you really want to emulate.
Although, to be fair, that Alpha Tauri livery was very,
the other parts of the livery was absolutely fine, yeah. And thank you, Benjamin Hignett. Yes, thank you very much. Here we go, once again. Just, yeah, love to see it. Yeah.
Just rubbing it in.
He does it. I mean, as soon as we start bemoaning Bendeek's livery, he's just like, nah, you guys are gonna get a full view of it. So enjoy. Oh, I see. Ah, no, Ben, no.
Yes,
no, Mikey, no. Please. Oh yeah. No.
What we need is this, but with chase cam.
Yeah, so true. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, in the meantime, as we continue to watch Ben Dyke and the Pixel Racers car, there we go. Camera 2. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, now we've got an uninterrupted front and rear view, front side and rear view. The whole 360 degrees of Ben Dyke's car. You know, we probably deserve this at the end of a season, 7-round season, of telling everyone how bad Ben Dyke's library is, and he'll absolutely love the fact that we're getting this thrown everywhere. Yeah, look at that 360 camera.
Oh, that's excellent.
Round of applause, Benjamin Hignett. You know, that's
dropped down to 20. Sorry.
Oh, we have dropped down to 20 indeed. I don't know quite who's dropped out there, but
I think it was someone towards the back. I'm not sure what's this. Might have been.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've still got. Oh no, now they're gone. I think it might. No, I can't tell at this stage. But 20's only lost. Well, I'm going to say only, but unfortunately we have lost 5 cars. 3 minutes and 39 seconds now to go. Track temperature has stabilized quite a bit. We're going to go for the 2 camera view. 1 camera on your right hand side. Camera 2. It's the rear wing of Benjamin Piper per Mobile Audi. Love to see it. Actually, I really do like that livery. Especially when we had the endurance racing with the Pro Mobile safety car. Absolutely love it. Really cool colors, nice color scheme, and of course a great cause as well. There is actually a video up on YouTube. If those who haven't seen it, it's a chat with Neil Alexander, our glorious leader, talking about Mobile sim racing and the partnership there for sim racing. And it's an excellent video. Really cool insight into the passion behind the project that is Octane Online Racing.
Most definitely, it is a must-watch for anyone who's a part of the Octane Online Racing community. And as you said, it's a fantastic initiative. The collaboration between Mobile and Octane Online Racing. And the driver that we lost was Burton, so significant loss, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Bathurst is one of those tracks where everyone in our community loves this track and everyone wants to do well at it. So when you do get a race that you want to forget, you know, I generally don't agree with quitting a race unless something major has happened hardware-wise, but I can understand at a passion track like this that you know, when you get a bad result, when you're expecting to have a good result or wanting to have a good race at a circuit like this, it can be so frustrating.
Yeah, that's it. Well, we're on the penultimate lap here. Well, actually, Reynolds will probably have time to do one more after this one, so Reynolds is on the penultimate lap and Murphy will be on the penultimate lap very soon, so this is actually the penultimate lap for these drivers here.
Yeah, exactly. The gap between Reynolds and Murphy right now, 13.5 seconds, so we're not going to be watching a battle for the final lap of the race. It looks like everyone else will be finishing with the lap that they're doing next. Yeah, Joshua Vettiger's just crossed the line now. He's 15 seconds behind Chris Murphy. Then 3.5 seconds back to Breno Ellis, another 15 back to Ashley Johnson. So your top 6 right now with Cameron Thistlethwaite rounding things out in P6. Solidified. Parkin solidified in P7, P8 Scanlon, Neil Wood in P9, Chris Brooker P10. Excellent work. And 6.5 seconds gap from Piper in P11.
That's fantastic work there from Chris Brooker. He's just kept things clean and consistent, and as others have fallen around him, he's found his way into the top 10 in what would be a well-deserved result for him. And well, the battle behind P11 is still raging on. Piper about a second clear of Convoy. Convoy of damage holding steady against Bendeich, and Brimpelcombe starting to find his way in the equation, but probably just a little bit too late. Now, Bendeich has a good run here. Can he go for a move into the chase, or is he going to hold off for another lap? He's too far back.
Yeah, too far back. Not going to really happen this time round, but I mean, he's got... yeah, he's got one more lap to get this done. We had Cameron Thistlewaite predict...
He might have 2 more, depending on when Reynolds crosses the line.
Yes, that is true. Just trying to remember who it was yesterday, but in split yellow, Cameron Thistlewaite did the prediction. Saw coming through the chase, 22 seconds left on, said it's going to be very close. Ticked down to 0:000 on the timer, and the lead across the line to do another lap. It was absolutely...
It's going to be much the same here. Reynolds will cross the line now with about 2 seconds to go.
He's
pulled it up.
He has
pulled it up. He's like, no, I'm done.
He's done.
Well, Reynolds. And on that bombshell, Reynolds wins.
Yeah, exactly. Back to the studio. Reynolds, superfluous. He was going to be in a battle there with Matthew Lamb and JC, but unfortunately that battle came to a sudden and unfortunate conclusion. Murphy comes along across the line for P2. That means Vediger will be P3 in this race, and donuts now starting to happen down at the bottom of Hell Corner, bottom of the hill, and that'll mean Breno Ellis will come home P4. We're staying on board at the moment with Ben Deek just to see if he's got any ability to come back, and I've seen an amazing prediction or suggestion in chat by Ravenous Aardvark. We need to bring back the bad livery round and name the award after Ben Dyke. Yes, just simply yes. It's a great idea.
Johnston home in P5, good race from him. Thistlewaite, he did get to the end and he finished P6. That's a very strong result from him. There'll be Parkin in P7, strong result after a few little incidents. Scanlon P8, strong. Wood P9, that's a brilliant result for him. And of course Brooker in P10, that is excellent, excellent stuff. This battle for P11 still rages on. Convoy's got the run on Piper, but doesn't have the straight line speed. There's too much damage on that Mustang. So you would say Piper holds on to P11, Convoy holds on to P12, and Ben Dykes will hold on to P13 ahead of P14.
Yeah, even at Bathurst, you can't count out the last corner. Something could go dramatically wrong here. The chances are very, very, very low at this point.
Oh, Convoy nearly tried it.
He really centered into the corner, but yeah, Piper's going to have the exit there. Across the line they'll come. 11th for Piper, Convoy P12 with the fastest lap, Bender, you can P13, then Brimblecombe. What a race to forget for Brimblecombe as well. So Convoy and Brimblecombe, and just they were running so fast at the beginning of this. Such a shame.
Yeah, there's Perkins and Horsburgh will cross the line, and that will finish things out. 20 drivers made it to the line. We had 25. We lost 20% of them. Yes, 20% of them.
Yep.
And there we go. That is your season done for Split Blue.
Wow. Great season as well from all the participants, and that's going to be... Oh, excuse me, got the hiccups. That's going to be Ashton Reynolds taking home the pro category victory, not only today, but also across the entire season. Series 17 now complete after 7 rounds. Final round here at Bathurst, of course. Reynolds will take the race win and the season victory. Joshua Vediger will be in P2 for pro class. Then it'll be Tom McDonald, I believe, or it could, Mia Rosa, it might be JC actually. JC might actually take P3 in the pro category here, but they've got Breno Ellis and Griff Murphy in the silver class ahead of them. Breno Ellis looks to be on to potentially take a win here as well, but the drop round, we'll have to see. So results will come up, but let's run through here. Reynolds from Murphy from Vediger, and then over in silver class, we do have Murphy from Ellis from Johnston. Pro-Am division looks like this: Parkin, Wood, and Perkins. And then an Am class, it's going to be Fleming and Frustruck. And of course, we do have Brooker in there as well, but he's got a different badge on today. And actually, no, they didn't finish the race, so there were 2 that dropped out, unfortunately, the Am class drivers.
Yeah, Fleming with the disconnect, and Frustruck leaving after a few incidents earlier on, as Bilko sets the night alight here at Mount Panorama. Will be crossing over to Split Red very, very shortly. They're qualifying starting in about 4 minutes time. But what a season we've had here for Split with the Simrigs Sprint Series. What has been your highlight of the season, Mr. George Cook?
Oh, it's really hard to say. I mean, Bathurst is always a highlight as well, but and the chaos of Red Bull Ring was certainly entertaining. Let's put it that way. I think it's the opportunism that we saw with Cameron Thistlewaite throughout the season. I think the Bentley has been an extremely fun thing to watch this season. How about yourself?
Yeah, that there have been some fantastic moments throughout the season. It's hard to really pick just one, but I'd say the best racing we had was probably before we had the break, before the Enduros, the first of the Italian job Enduros. We had some brilliant races prior to the break. I fondly remember the Donington rounds. Had some great racing, brilliant racing at Donington.
Yeah, actually, though, Donington was absolutely fantastic, especially because that was when the Ford was introduced into the game just a few days before, and it was just such an interesting race.
Yeah, because we had no real idea how the Mustangs would truly operate, and no, came away with some very intriguing results.
Yeah, turns out the Mustang's quite good at British circuits for whatever reason, but I mean, it's been a great addition to the game so far, has the Ford, and we saw it today, Bathurst. It was fairly dominant, if slightly hard to wrangle beast, but I think that's what makes it fun.
Yes, most definitely. So we'll cut across to Split Red very, very soon. Your commentators for that one will be the usual affair of Jamie Conboy and Neil Haynes, if I am not mistaken. And here we are into Split Red. We'll just stick around for a little while and buffer out some time, I suppose.
Yeah, we do get to see the KEKW livery, the fun livery here by Chris Cooley. Yeah, absolutely love to see it. And yeah, I mean, look, it's been a great season for Split Blue. Congratulations to all the winners. I think the results will be up pretty soon. So go and check results.octaneonlineracing.com.au and do get yourself updated. The winners of the categories. Congratulations to you all. Congratulations to the P2 and P3 in the categories as well. There'll be a few new badges handed out at the end of the season for all splits because there's been some real good improvements and performances by a number. We've seen that in Split Blue as well this season.
Yeah, most definitely. There have been some success. I mean, Breno Ellis and Chris Murphy definitely deserve to step up to the pro class. I'd say Burt probably deserves to step up to the silver class. There's Bud Viola drivers that could find their way promoted up in the classes as, oh dear, Mr. Cooley, that is not the line.
Yeah, you know, for a moment there, it looked like he might have saved it, but no, he's going to reset to the pits, and he'll go again at some point soon.
It is only practice after all.
That is very, very true. Yeah, we can give him a break just for now. Then he's going to be setting some mega lap times, as many will be in Split Red. Looks like it's dry out there though, so they'll be all quite happy about that. Only Split Green getting the short straw on this run, really.
Yes, that will certainly please the camera operator we've got tonight here in Benjamin Hickman.
Just unintentionally rubbing it in constantly, but yeah. Well, the wait time's ticking out and out, and we've got one of our commentators in the box, so we'll be able to hand over at some point soon once JC has a cool down period. I think he's decided he's going to go and clean up after that race because it was probably a sweaty ordeal for him. Yeah. So I think we're going to go for a quick break, and I think from myself, George Cook, and Alexis Bowe, mate, Alexis, it's been an absolute pleasure being in the comms box with you for Split Yellow this season, and hope to see you back again for Series 18. And a big thanks to Benjamin Hignett as well, our glorious broadcaster tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been an honour to commentate this split once again, and hopefully we'll be back next season.
Indeed. All right. Well, thank you very much, everyone, and we'll hand you over to the Split Red commentators after a short break. Thank you, and stay tuned.
Green light, show them what you got.
Welcome back to the Octane Online Racing Sprint Series for Simrigs for the final round here at Bathurst for a 60-minute race. I'm your commentator Neil Haynes. Alongside me will be Jamie Conboy, but at the moment we have got Alex still here. Welcome back, Alex.
Hello. I am not Jamie Conboy, but yeah, no, I can certainly try to do my best impression of the great man while he's just recovering from the split route race we just had. So yeah, we'll jump right into qualifying here for split red.
Yeah, it should be very interesting. We've got a big grid here for the split red. I believe there's over 25 cars or so on the entry list, so it should be a very entertaining race, that's for sure. This qualifying session is going to heat up right at the end, and we're going to see what Lucas Keys can do, obviously holding the championship lead, and we've obviously seen Rackmat doing some good jobs here in the Ferrari too. I think he was around at the last round at Indianapolis. We missed him, so we'll see how he goes here on a flyer. Probably his first flyer here at the moment.
Yeah, I was very fortunate to race with Fudley Rackmat at the Bathurst 12 hour we held earlier on in the year. We were riding in the Bentley then. He's in the Ferrari here, and he's making his way down the chase here. As seems like we have some company in the commentary box.
Yes, you do. Hello, Alexis. Hello, Neil. Sorry I'm late. I've just had a very quick shower because I smelt like a fart. Now I'm here for Split Red, and goodness gracious, I'm excited for this one. Where are we at? We're in qualifying.
We are, and it's good to have you back, JC, and it's also good to see JP in the background there in that Bentley. We missed him last week at Indianapolis, the internet not working for those guys, so good to see him. As looking at Lucas Keys here, this is the man that looks like he should take the championship with a good result here. They haven't got a drop round in place as well, so his worst round at the moment here was Donington Park at round 3. So 68 points in front of JP, and there's 86 points there that he could drop from Donington Park at this stage. So I'd say that he only has to be in that top 5 or so to probably take the championship here, guys, probably even the top 10.
Are we getting a 58 tonight? Are we getting a 58 tonight? There's no rain. This looks like mint conditions. I haven't seen the temperatures, but it's probably the same as blue. And if that's the case, I assure you, we potentially have a 58 on our hands from the Mercedes of Pradama. Rackmat as well. Rackmat's here in the Ferrari. So I reckon that Ferrari, Rackmat and Pradama, look out for those two. I want to see a 58 tonight, and I reckon they have the capability.
Yeah, I think you're not wrong about that. Alexis was just saying that before. He was here that Rackmat is a very fast driver, so especially around here at Bathurst, he loves it around here. So let's see if we're going to see that 58.
And have you gone through the standings? We've got obviously a couple of battles on tonight. There's plenty to fight for in a lot of different places. I haven't got the standings up in front of me, but my man Carlos, who's obviously Carl Johnson, he's in the race. He's given me a bit of a run. Lucas versus Peach in obviously the pro battle, and then you got Shady versus Sang. I think maybe fighting for around about 3-4. And then Hamster versus Ison, that sounds like a pro-am battle. And Tarkin versus Graham sounds like a pro-am battle as well. So there's plenty on the line all over the grid tonight. We've got a really, really good ending to Split Red here. And of course, Mount Panorama being the greatest track in ACC. What a way to finish Split Red. Before we'll go on a bit of a break, we get to enjoy the fastest drivers in OCE tackle the mountain with plenty on the line. You couldn't ask for more, Neil.
No, you couldn't, and we almost saw a 58 there. There was a 59.0, almost a 1 minute 59 flat. But I think it was, I'm not too sure, I think it was the Ferrari that we were watching earlier, but or was it Lucas Keys?
I'm not sure. I'm still playing catch up. There looks like there's a lot of improvement from a lot of guys here. Like 2.9 from Moreno. I reckon he's got more in him than that. In fact, he's got 1.2 on the Delta here, but he's stuck behind this McLaren, and the track map saying that he's valid, but the McLaren doing a very nice, a very good thing there from the McLaren just to get out of the way, and we won't see the completion of that lap as we watch Rackmat here get it all messy through the top of the mountain. He's on a 59.0 Rackmat. Moreno now with a 2-minute flat .1. He's a second off the pace. Rackmat down to a 59.0 already with 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm going to really look forward to this battle also with Pratt Buck, because we've seen how good he's been running between, since he's joined the series actually. So I think Rackmat should have a good battle.
Rackmat's an interesting one actually. We obviously just watched him get that damage at the top of the mountain, but there is still 4 minutes and 16 seconds left in this session. So if he gets back, sorts himself out, here's the damage to Rackmat. He's coming around McPhillamy here and then gets on the curb on the outside of McPhillamy. So that upsets the Ferrari to no end. So as I said, he's going to get out for a hot lap here. He's going to get out for 3 more hot laps here. So 1 more out lap and 2 more hot laps. He's got more in him, Rackmat. So I reckon we can see a 58 from him based on that 59.0.
Yeah, provisionally holding pole position, but this is the man we want to see, the championship leader. As I said, he'd have to have a very bad round for anything to take away this championship. He's got a good 60-point lead, I think it was, and his worst round so far was 80 points that will be deducted for that drop round. So he's up there and second currently at the moment, JC.
Yeah, good lap from Lucas. Another one with more in him. I wonder what these temps are. I feel like there's a bit more in Lucas as well, and I thought he would have pulled that out by now. It is 19:23. It is very good temperatures. So a lot of these guys maybe just shaking off some nerves, or maybe finding some traffic. And there's 25 here. So there's a reasonable grid showing up for Split Red tonight. But yeah, there's a couple there that I reckon have a lot more in their laps.
Yeah, I think so. It's obviously going to be those last couple of laps. It's going to really light up our Christmas tree here, I think. As it always does in Split Red. The qualifying goes right down to the wire.
Oh, there's me. Where's chat? Where's YouTube chat? I need you. I need you to console me. I need my friends in YouTube chat to come to the rescue and...
The chat took a while for it to load up on my screen, but it's there now, so it should be
right.
Eventually.
I thought it was my computer, but that's a YouTube thing, isn't it?
I don't know. It was blank for me for quite a while, but I've got it up.
Anyway.
Hello all to the chatters there on YouTube. Hopefully we're going to have a great race. Let us know your thoughts. Who you think might take out this final round here for the Split Red Simrigs Sprint Series.
Right, let's see what kind of lap Page has got now.
Page on the flyer.
P2, 59.7. Pratma with the 59.6. 59.74, sorry. Math's not great there. Lucas has got another 4/10 here. Doesn't look like anyone's getting near Rackmat in that Ferrari, though. Christ almighty, that's quick with a 59.0.
Yeah, it sure is. He just needs to, to satisfy those 1 minute 58s that people want to see. Squeeze out a little bit more. Riding on board him now as he's just twinkling on his fastest delta time. How deep can he go here into the chase and even into that final corner?
Well, it doesn't matter because he's invalid, so this one's not the lap.
Invalid, yeah, okay. Yep.
But he's got another one in him. We've got a minute to go as he comes through the chase here. He'll get one more liner upper at it, so wouldn't mind staying on board with him, or at least with him, see what he can do here. I don't know whether he watches the stream. We can put the pressure on him.
He has got a bit of traffic though in front of him, JC, the car 63, so hopefully that doesn't impede his lap here. He's got a bit of a gap there, but the way he's got his pace on this Ferrari, may close in on him before the end of this lap.
Nice little improvement there from Page. He's got one more in him too. 20 seconds to go. There's a couple coming around the last corner and a couple coming into the chase as well that may just make it through for one more. But here we are with Rackmat, who's found a 10th already in the first 2 corners. Up into the cutting here. Nice wide entry, which is hard to do. It's off camber. Once you lose that camber at the outside of cutting, you can mess up your lap straight away. So he's rode that pretty well. Up here past the BT sign, all flat through here. You would assume most of the pro drivers are all flat through here, and then probably a little chicken lift down here as we get through McPhillamy not off the throttle 100%. Perfect, gets it out nice and wide and doesn't spin there like he did in the last one. Still has that 10th in the bag. Oh, a bit messy coming over the mountain there, over Skyline, but in fact it's gained him time, but then cost him in the dipper. So yeah, I thought that was a little bit messy and it's upset his line. He had to get on the brakes pretty hard into the dipper and therefore, and there's a big tap of the wall there. So there goes that one. He's probably on for a 58 too. That's a shame. He's definitely got it in him, that lap, but it is super hard to hook up here around Mount Panorama. So hats off to him for putting a 59.0 on the board though. That is a bloody monumental lap.
Yeah, sure is. We're looking at Rochford here. He's down on his Delta. As Carl Johnson seeing if he can improve here in the Porsche. On down into 13th. He doesn't want to start in that unlucky grid spot of 13. Some of the superstitious people out there. He's got the time here though, JC, if he can continue it.
Come on, get up, Carlos. Hold on to this time here in the chase. Yeah, looked good on entry and looks solid on exit too, so didn't lose too much of it at all. Obviously did the chase very well on his hot lap, but he's managed to hold on to this half a second here. One more corner to go down to the hell corner, which he's taken a lot of curb there on the inside. Didn't cost him all that much, so that's handy to gain. Oh, that little touch of the curb, I reckon, has cost him P11 to Satria, who clears him by 0.002 of a second.
Yeah, so it looks a very strong grid here. We've got some big hitters up the front. We've got a 60-minute race coming up with the 2 mandatory stops during this race. We'll see how the strategy will work out for these guys. We did see some interesting strategies at Indianapolis that turned the race on its head, didn't it, at the end last week, especially from the LOR guys, getting all fresh tyres on.
Yeah, absolutely. We thought that one was just going to be a bit of a procession, didn't we? Especially in the first half before the pit stops came around. We just thought, well, our man Pradham is just going to walk off with this one. But no, as you said, they all changed tyres and made it very interesting for us. But I think we'll have no shortage of excitement here tonight. That is for sure. We'll, with the 2 pit stops that are mandatory, it's basically 3 qualifying sessions, which means these guys just get to go flat out on each other. No protection of tyres, no real alternate strategies. Some drivers probably go a little bit longer in the first stint than they do in the last 2 stints. But other than that, it is just going to be balls to the wall, qualifying stints for the next hour with the fastest drivers in OCE. Can't wait for this one.
Yeah, 20-minute dashes basically, isn't it? So it's going to be very entertaining. And we'll see how some of these drivers will fare. We've got the Hulk livery of that Lamborghini. Hopefully we can see that up into the top 12 or 13 or so. No, very colourful Bentley coming up at the rear here. Is this Jensen's Bentley, I think? Number 95. And there's your road map.
Checkers, starting from the back. Not a huge fan of Bathurst is Chris Cooley, but very quick here. Regardless of what he thinks, he's bloody quick here, so you'll see him come through the field, that's for sure. But yeah, Fadley Rackmount out the front here looks like he's definitely got a handle on that Ferrari. In saying that, we did see him make a few errors during qualifying. Obviously pushing very, very hard in qualifying, so could be forgiven for making a few errors, but hopefully those errors don't creep into the race. I know all about that, unfortunately. Oh, I don't want to talk about it.
Oh,
I'm a bit
yeah,
sick. I'm a bit sick, by the way, Neil. So forgive me if my voice isn't 100% on top of it tonight. I'm going to try and bring the energy, but we've only got an hour ago. I should be all right.
You should be right, but yeah, it's been going around, that little virus. I copped it a couple of weeks ago, and I'm a lot better now. So looking forward tonight, though, and looking forward to see what Ison's got to. Currently 3rd in the Silver Championship. Obviously very close to Mark Bushell, so he'll be trying to get 2nd if he can. I think Carl Johnson has probably got enough margin to take that Silver Championship away for this season.
Yeah, 100%. Carlos has got that one locked in. 120-something points clear he is, so you won't worry about that one too much.
But yeah, definitely the McLaren and the Mercedes, Mark Bushell and Ison, will be a good one to watch throughout.
Just 11 points the margin, Bushell in front of Eisen.
Eisen up the order a little bit there for the qualifier, so he's got Scudder to be starting in front of Bushell, but we do know that he's very consistent in that McLaren, so he'll be playing, I know it's 20-minute stints we'll say, in sprint stints, but we've obviously seen a few people muck up their pit stops as well. Some drivers missing their pit bay, so it's going to be a hive of activity, so there's a good chance that some drivers may just miss their queue as well.
So my man in the garage, Jay Sweeney, who finished on the podium here yesterday. Very good. I think it's his first ever race in OR at Bathurst, and he's just gone and chucked it on the podium, if you don't mind. Jay Sweeney reckons that the Ferrari will kill its tyres and Lucas will take the big W. So if you've got your predictions in chat, put those out there, because that's it's an interesting shout. I think the Ferrari's not too shabby on its tyres, but yeah, considering Rackmat's errors in qualifying, I reckon that's not a bad shout from Jay Sweeney. So Lucas Keys, P1, Pratama, he loves his Mercedes, Pratama. He's got a very good handle on that car, and the Mercedes is notoriously very strong around here, so he's in for a good shout as well. But then I want to see Peach really push here. Peach, Jean-Pierre Senecas has won enough series in OR to retire happy, but he will be very, very keen to push for this one as well and take it off the young Lucas Keys.
Oh yeah, who doesn't want to win Bathurst though? And then we've also got the Honda of his brother, not that far behind as well. So I don't know if he's going to trouble the leaders, but you know, if he can come home with a top 5 here, John, in the Honda, he'll be a very happy man as well.
I don't think Jean-Pierre Senecas gets talked about enough in the same light as we talk about our Philippa Paquitas, like those real proper legends of OR, Andy O'Hara, the legends of OR who have won multiple series here. Jean-Pierre, I think, is already up there, but if he wins tonight and manages to pinch P1 here in Split Red, he definitely goes into that upper echelon of drivers who have won multiple splits and have just shown incredible consistency over time, and is definitely at the peak of our series, the peak of our community in terms of his pace. So that's who I'm behind tonight. He's starting from P4. He's got a fair bit of work to do in that Bentley. The Bentley not particularly strong here, but if anyone can do it, it is Jean-Pierre. He's got plenty of work to do. All right, let's see how we go. I wonder if you want to call us through the first couple of corners here, Neil.
Yep, as they're just lining up here to take the final corner. Preparations are all done. They'll have all their tyres ready to go. Interesting, the first corner. They should get through cleanly. They've done plenty of laps around this track here with OOR, but here we go. They've all closed up nicely. And Rackmat's ready to go, waiting for that green.
Green light, go, go, go.
And it looks like they're going now. There's a few OOR cars coming, filtering through the middle. We're going 3 wide. And they look like they're getting through nice and cleanly through Hell Corner. Oh, just as I say that, we've got a couple of the Mercedes. One went right, one went left, but it looks like it's Lucas Keys. He's put the challenge up to here, up into Griffin's band, so it's going to make this dick. And it looks like JP's just holding off Sang, who's missed out last week's round as well, but he's back here in that BMW. And it's looking very tidy as they come up through the cutting. So the LOR car's just putting a move on Carl Johnson. Then they get close to the wall on the exit up here. Looking at JP, seeing how he's getting his Bentley over the top of the mountain his first time around.
Yeah, so it was a really good start from Lucas Keys, who managed to get alongside Rackmart out of turn 1, and then the OP Aston up the hill, very nice on the turbos. Got in front of the Ferrari and up into turn 2, so Lucas Keys taking the lead of this one. And as you rightly called, there was an LOR car who made it 3 wide into turn 1, and we thought they got through safely, but then as the camera cut back to him, it was that exact position of field where the carnage happened. Unfortunately, there's a few that got into the wall, so there'll be a few carrying damage, but it looks like everyone got through pretty cleanly. There's no one sort of straggling out the back, so whilst there would have been a yellow flag for a small amount of time, the race director's rightly not calling a safety car, and we all get to play on. Bit of a gap forming between P8 and P9 already, and here we go. That's where it is. One of the LOR cars who got into the rear quarter of that one there. So unfortunately, it was a bit of a tap on the wall, but looks like it wasn't too much. And everyone gets to carry on. I wouldn't see them pitting, that's for sure. Especially outside the pit window. I don't want to do an extra pit stop, so they'll carry that damage for a little bit.
Yeah, no, it should be okay. It might cost them a little bit of top end speed maybe, up and down the mountain, but other than that, I think they should be okay. Wait for that pit window, maybe get a little bit repaired. Rackmat just trying to see if he can keep on the back of this Aston Martin. He's doing a good job getting a good toe up mountain straight. As you said, from that Aston Martin, who's the turbos will be singing as it's going up mountain straight. As we're looking behind Lucas in camera 2, what a shot that is as he's going climbing the mountain. They just keep climbing until they get to up to the top here, Skylight.
Lucas is on point here early. It's really awesome to watch him throw that Aston around up near the walls already. Rackmat, they're right there with him, so both these guys pushing early. But these tyres won't be necessarily right up to pressure yet, but that doesn't bother these two. They are throwing this around. They want to stretch their legs straight away. And to do that, as I said, on cold tyres that aren't really up to their window yet is pretty scary stuff over the top of the mountain there, but big balls from these two. Rackmat right underneath him here.
Yeah, good toe as we're looking at this replay at the start. You can just see how he just got the power on the exit of Hell Corner. But here we go, round the outside into the chase. He's made it stick, Rackmat. So there's no lack of pace from the Ferrari, especially when it's had the toe behind that Aston Martin. Let's see what Lucas Keys can do if he can try and get that power down. The Bin Chicken racing car back into second position. But Rackmat as well, we've seen him a little bit loose. Oh, talk about loose. Look at the back BMW behind JP of Sang. Chris holding on really well, but Rackmat's car is very, very loose, I think, coming down through the dipper. We saw it in qualifying, and that previous lap as he's on. What a great save that was.
Yeah, that was a good catch. Well spotted by you too.
We'll just see if that Ferrari, how he goes down the mountain again, because previous lap he did look a little bit wobbly. Was fighting that Ferrari, but look at the lead. He's already got the margin he's got here, nearly over half a second.
Yeah, so this is the danger for Lucas now that Rackmat's out from underneath him. He's probably got less dirty air to contend with, and he's going to really get to stretch the legs of that Ferrari and show what he's made of. So, as you said, he's obviously got it set up pretty dicey, and he's going to have to be on point here for the next hour to keep that going straight and narrow. But if he does, he's really going to walk away with this race, which I think Peach will be pretty happy with now to see Lucas Keys back into P2. And that's once he gets past Pratimer, if indeed he can. Pratimer obviously super quick too. He'll only have one job left to do in getting past Lucas. He won't have to get past Rackmat as well, so he'll be just quietly pleased that Rackmat's managed to pinch that one from Lucas, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. I think you're right there. And just to also bring to attention to the viewers as well, Ison all the way down in 22nd, so maybe he was one of the LOR cars that we did see get involved in that first corner incident. And we've got Mark Bushell all the way in 11th. So at this stage, Mark Bushell's doing what he needs to do to try and hold second in this championship in the silver class. So as we know, Cole Johnston has definitely got this championship wrapped up for the silver class. But I'll tell you what, it's a good start for Mark Bushell.
Yeah, Pete Viney also in with a very good start, so he's tucked up right behind Mark Bushell. Those two, obviously, in the Kovacs team together, they'll be pulling each other along. Soapy, Zach Graham currently P14, only 2 spots behind Pete Viney, so that one's still pretty close, but Pete Viney with the ascendancy there, and still leading Pro-Am by the 40 points as well. So Zach Graham, a lot of work there to do if he wants to try and pinch this Pro-Am win tonight.
Yeah, it'd also be on the countback too, isn't it? Because they do definitely have that drop round, so it just depends what their worst round is as well. So obviously the calculators will be out after this race to see how that all pans out.
Both of them have pretty similar drop rounds. Zach's going to drop 29 and Pete Viney's going to drop 24. So not a huge difference in their drop round. So yeah, the fact that Pete's got 40 points on him, all he has to do is finish in front of Zach and he's got that one wrapped up.
Nice one. And Jensen's moved up into 9. He started near the back there in that very colourful Bentley we saw on the grid there. So good job for the AM driver. Now Patma, just seeing if he's holding a good pace here. Now, as he said, I think JP will be happy to be following him at this stage. Bit of action happening on camera 2, the Chico roll car, just in front.
Yeah, it looks like Keckley here on the outside of Mike Reel. Down through the kink and into the chase. You would expect Keckley to get on the brakes nice and late here. He does. Pulls it up beautifully. Great move. Not particularly easy to do that. It is the best place on the track to get moves done after the long straight, but it's still very difficult to get on the anchors and get it all tucked into the chase there. But Chris Cooley's done that very nicely on Mike Reel there, so it moves himself up into P13.
Oh, here we go. We've got, what's going on here?
That's Badley Rackmat going past the blue-flagged Stefano Ricciuti. So poor old Stefano's had a shocking start again. I don't know what's happened to him, but he's just going to jump out of the way there of Lucas Keys too, so that's good blue flagging from Stefano.
Yeah, we didn't see what obviously went on there with Stefano, but hasn't been the start for him at Bathurst for the final round. They're going to catch him at a very interesting spot here at the top of the mountain. The blue flags are a little bit difficult, but I think they should be able to follow him down onto Conrod, out of Forest Elbow, and pass him fairly easy. It's definitely got some pace in that that car to be able to just not interfere too much with these leading pack.
Yeah, obviously you can't do it over the top, but you would hope here. And Stefano, obviously a very experienced driver, he'll get out of the way here, but he doesn't want to be in front of them for too long because it does. Well, whilst he may have the same pace, he will be giving them a bit of aero wash. So it might not look like he's holding them up, but they'll be feeling the effects of that. So yeah, Stefano, very, very good blue flagging there, just jumping straight out of the way. Not letting his ego get the best out of him, not trying to race these guys down here and just getting out of the way nicely there. It's unfortunate for Stefano that he's had the start that he had, but yeah, just not letting that get the better of him and jumping out of the way there of the leaders. Peach feels like he's probably a bit stuck here. It looks like he's got a little bit of extra pace over Pratama, but the Bentley I don't think has the straight line speed or the pace over the top to get past him. He hasn't got enough pace to find a move, so he's kind of just stuck here, and he may think of an early pit stop here. Jean-Pierre.
And we're looking, oh, purely, we're having a double hit.
Oh my goodness.
Massive moment. So this is probably what happened. So that's a replay, obviously, of what happened to Ricciuti. So that shows what went on there. Purely up from last all the way up to 12th already. We did see on camera 2 earlier this battle that he was having with Pete Viney and got that job done. So he's overtaken the Porsche, and now he's trying to catch the McLaren of Mark Bushell. But yes, it's a good point that you brought up, JC, about the blue flags and the aero wash. That's one thing I have to say that we learned a lot as being amateur drivers, especially in the endurance series here with OOR. Yeah, you might think that you've got, oh, look, here we go. As Ricciuti bounced over the curves, fully airborne.
Have a look at this Aston. Have a look, Cooley catch that power slide too, though. He's obviously involved in that. Stefano and Cooley just getting a little bit of a rub happening as they came down into Hell Corner there. And Stefano obviously getting up on the curb, copped the worst of it, but Cooley had a lot of work to do to gather that Aston up, and he just put the power slide in there. Very nice shot of that too from Benjamin Hignett.
That's going to be one of those ones that you want to probably see on replay or in the highlight reel slow-mo, because that's a pretty good power slide, as you said. But yeah, just get back to those blue flags. It's obviously an eye-opener and in the endurance series, and you do understand about that aero wash that you think that, well, yeah, you are, maybe a second or just on that verge of the blue flags. But yeah, the aero wash and how the faster drivers do eventually inform you are slower drivers that, it is, they don't have the grip. They're definitely faster, but they can't get close enough. Otherwise, they're likely to bin it themselves. So the sooner we can get out of the way, obviously, and let those faster drivers through, the better.
Yeah, some tracks it's much worse than others too. This track's a very good track for blue flags, honestly. With there's two really good clean spots you can do blue flags, and then another one or two spots where you can kind of get them done safely. But there's tracks like your smaller tracks like Brands and Zolder, where there's not that many places to really get it done other than one or two straights, and you've basically got to wait a whole lap or dive out of the way, which is not ideal. Is this a move for position? That's Chalmers there in the green Hulk Lamborghini. Looks like he's in battle with Satria, who's going to have a crack around the outside there and potentially get that one done. No, that's Lior, actually. Lior is that red and black Mercedes. And they are still side by side up here, up in the cutting, and Lior's had the big balls to send it down the inside there. That's a very, very big balls play, because it's bloody dangerous through there. Not many drivers are capable of going side by side through there, so that's great work from both Lior and Chalmers to give each other enough room in a very tricky part of the track and manage to get through there safely. Great driving from both of them.
Yeah, and that's obviously Lior's coming back from that first lap incident as well. He was the other Mercedes involved in that. But this is getting very good. Chris Sang putting a lot of pressure on JP. It was very, very close as they were coming down the S's.
Our man in the pit lane, Jay Sweeney, saying that Peach has been throwing absolutely everything into this Bentley over the last lap or two to see if he can find any way to get past Pranama. So spending a lot of his tyres and just investigate, oh dear, that's a big chunk of the wall there from the 565 McLaren. That's not how to do that. And then he's got it parked backwards, so hopefully he's managed to get out of the way. But yeah, Jay saying that Peach is throwing everything at this Bentley over the last couple of laps to see if he can find a way through. And as you said, that's maybe just given Sang a little window in now that Peach has spent a little bit of his tyres. Peach probably looking to pit here sometime shortly.
Yeah, well, it's obviously almost a time where the drivers may start thinking, well, definitely in the next 5 minutes, but if those tyres are hurting JP, may opt to try and jump in that one lap before Pratma and see if he can get a good out lap and do the old overtake in the pits if he can.
The problem that Peach faces is the gap that he's got to the back of the field there. You can see those 3 cars on the track, Matt, coming into the chase. That's around about where Peach would come out if he were to pit right now. So that's probably the idea that he's got in his head, is that he actually doesn't really want to pit yet. It's not going to be worth it if he comes out in any sort of traffic. He needs clean air. So he'll be looking at those 3 cars, asking them to hurry up and get a move on or fall back. But he can't really do anything about it because he's stuck here right between Pratama and Sang.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point, that one. Definitely. So, yeah, you don't want to come out into traffic. We saw last week as well, I think it was Shady Samuel that pitted early for some problem in the Ferrari and proved to get some nice quick laps, I think it was, and moved up the field.
Yeah, spot on. Good call. He got the pit stop out of the way very early on. So when he came out of the pits, he still had fresh tyres, which obviously no one else did once they, well, other than the LOR guys who changed tyres, but of the drivers who didn't change tyres and ran long, they came out on old crappy tyres and had nothing left in them for that last stint of theirs. But as you said, Shady went with the alternate strat, pitted early, got his pit stop done and was coming out of the pits on still pretty fresh tyres. So managed to put in some really good laps in clean air and netted himself a really solid position gain, actually, after all the pits.
Yeah, ended up finishing 3rd, so that was a good result for him, which didn't look like it was going to be a good one at the same time, but I think he was following Maloney and decided to pit to try and get away from him. But back to the action here, and JP has found that little bit of extra pace, I think, because he seems to be getting a little bit closer to Pratma, and he's bringing obviously Sang with him wherever he goes. So who's going to blink first? So you guys in the chat, what would you do? Would you be hitting shortly, or just wait for Pratma if you're Sonicus, JP? Will you go when the Mercedes jumps in, or will you try and do the undercut and jump one lap early?
Well, speaking of Senecus and chat, John's in chat. John, why are you in chat? Poor old John's had a crap season in the Honda. And I don't blame John for that. I blame the crap Honda for that. But I'll tell you what, he's had seasons before where he's had a lot of crap thrown at him, and he's been very disappointed with it. Whereas this season, he's had a lot of crap thrown at him, but he's in his beloved Honda, and it seems like he's having fun. So, in chat again tonight. He's unfortunately found some walls, and he's pulled out of this race, but he's in his Honda and he's having fun. So that's what it's all about.
That's it, yeah. Give him that challenge in the Honda.
I miss the Honda being strong. It used to be the fastest car here. Do you remember that? Honda used to be the #1 car here by a long, long way. Here's what happened to John. Oh, whoopsie daisy. Yep, just got it all crisscross coming down into the elbow, which is a pain in the ass corner in absolutely any car.
That's a shame. Puts an end to the season there in the wall. This one's going to be a very interesting way all the way to the end. I think this race between Sang and Senecus, I should say. I'll get that pronunciation done right this time.
Tell you what, Sang is all over the back of Peach here. He wants to get a move done pretty shortly. He doesn't want to wait for the pit stops. Sang is really pressuring the back of this Bentley now. He is all over him. Peach seems to have just lost a tenth or two of pace over the last couple of laps. As we said, Jay Sweeney saying that he'd given it a fair old crack before, and now that he's run out of a little bit of tyre, it looks like Sang, who may have protected his, is really starting to pressure the back of Peach here.
Yeah, it looked like he had a little bit of a wobble coming out of the cut-in as well, just trying to get the power on, and that's where Sang definitely got right on the rear bumper of that Bentley. If he can keep the flow going, Senecus, he's definitely got that Bentley in a good shape at this stage, because other than those rear tyres probably just crying out for mercy. You can just see going down the mountain through from the dipper onwards, he's definitely pulling out a little bit of a margin on Sang. It's more the climb up, and he's having problems getting that power on at this stage. So we've got Angry Kid obviously saying if he's Peach, he'd try the undercut, so he'd probably try and jump in before Pratma. But it looks like Sang's going to do it on Senecus because he's in.
Here we go. This is where it gets fun. First round of pit stops for the front runners.
Yeah, so this might put a train a reaction for the next lap. We may see Rackmack come in. I'll be interested to see where Sang comes out. I'll be keeping an eye on that.
Strelnikov also in the pit. Strelnikov's an interesting one. He's got a lot of pace, that man, but he hasn't been here all season. I think he did the first race and then sort of I don't know where he's. I don't know whether he's look, anyway, I know that he's a very, very fast driver on his day. He's done a lot of SRO and a lot of the worldly championships and whatnot. So super fast dude. Look for him to put some pressure on a couple of guys as well if he manages to get a little bit further up in that top 10. Cooley, we were talking about before, coming from the back of the grids up there in P7 now, obviously with yet to pit. Here's a bit of a battle here between, I think, Zach Graham and Angelo Gonzalez. Angelo Gonzalez is going to have a go down in the chase and gets it done. Yeah, a little bit of contact on the way in there, but that's pretty cleanly done, and nice work from Angelo Gonzalez to hang on to that one. You can't just drive across on him, though. Oh, that was nearly contact again. And late under brakes, Soapy says, thank you very much, I'll have that one back as they head into Hell Corner. So a nice little battle there. Angelo Gonzalez getting it done into the chase, and then Zach Graham pinching it back into Hell Corner. Good battle.
Yeah, very good driving by Zach. He never gave up. He kept his car very firmly on the outside, the final corner. As it looks like here they are. They coming into pit lane now. I don't think the leader did. I think... yeah, Frackmat stayed out.
Yeah, Frackmat's got that little bit of extra fuel too. That is scary because he's clearly got more pace than everyone else. And if he's doing that with extra fuel, then look out over his next 2 stints because this track is going to get slightly cooler. If he gets his pressures right and he has less fuel than he had in this first stint, he's going to be absolutely steaming in these next 2 stints. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a very low 59, if not a 58 sometime over the next 37 minutes from this man, Fadli Rakhmat.
Yeah, that'll be very good to stick around to see what time he can get. He obviously got that fastest lap so far, but what a drive by Chris Cooley as well. He ended up getting bushel before he's coming to the pit stop. Mark stayed out. But from last position, he's basically found himself in 7th, probably 8th, because we've obviously got JP already pitted from one of the leaders. So, nice drive from Cooley in that Aston Martin. So here we go. Has JP made a little bit of a margin? He's caught up to the back, I think, a little bit.
Absolutely. His gap's saying a bit here too. You can...
Lucas Keys.
Sang's dropped off the back of him as well. So, yeah, Peach has had a very good pit stop and has managed to put a bit of... and Pratimer's dropped off there too. Pratimer was... he was well and truly up behind in this battle, and he's out the back of it now. So, yeah, Peach has done very nicely in the first pit stop.
So that just shows the experience of the drivers. They've done a lot of hours in the game as well, and pit stops definitely where he's made a lot of time up. Seneca, so he's obviously reduced that margin between himself and Lucas Keys, but obviously gained that position from Pratma, so very good pit stop from those guys.
Rakhmat also now in the pits, so just an extra lap or 2 for him.
Let's see if Bushell stays out and takes a lap around in the lead.
Yeah, James, we reckon Peach needs to comfortably beat Lucas Keys. We reckon there needs to be about 2 or 3 positions between them if Peach is to have any chance of making up the 59 points that currently separate them. And obviously with Rakhmat taking pole and the purple lap points tonight, there's not a lot on offer there. So, yeah, Peach, although driving very well, has a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I think he needs Lucas to obviously sort of fail and fall in out of the top 10. Big thing needs to happen to Lucas to not win this championship. But Peach will keep it going. He won't die wondering, that's for sure. Sang's got those tyres working. So JP now is dropped off from Lucas quite a bit and coming into the grips now of the BMW. I just love how close they get up to this BP Ultimate Walk. You can see where cars have scraped across the barrier there.
100%. Looks so good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Angelo Gonzalez is now in the pits, which leaves only the 3 drivers, Bushell, Chalmers and Bab are the 3 yet to pit. Bab's another one who's back in here for a race. He's been in and out this season. He's just popped back in here and he's put that Porsche up there in P3 on pace alone. So the three Kovacs drivers, Bushell, Chalmers and Bab, doing the Bender Strat at the moment, 1, 2 and 3. And then obviously with the pit stops now sorted, we've got Rackmat P1, Keys P2 and Senecas P3. And Senecas still under lots of pressure here from Sang. We said before that Sang had dropped off the back, but that hasn't taken him long to really close that gap and down into the chase on camera 2 there. You're going to see Sang have a little crack around the outside here, I reckon. Peach defending the inside nicely and then running it out to the edge. So frustrating for Sang, but Peach putting that car in all the right places and defending for his life here as he tries to hang on to the net overall P3 position.
Yeah, so it looks like they've got the calculators out. It looks like if JP finishes second, then Keys needs to be 8th or lower for JP to have a crack to take this championship. So it's not over, that's for sure, because they've still got plenty of racing to go. You know, and anything can happen. The mountain chooses what happens, basically, the old saying. So Mark Bushell in for his first of his 2 stops. JP won't be too, wouldn't be enjoying this this pressure he's getting from staying behind, knowing that he needs to try and see if he can get in front of Lucas Keys. So will we see a YouTube chatters curse? Oh, look at, how did he save that, Sang? I don't know if he touched the wall or not there, but that was pretty close.
Absolutely. Big moment for Sang there. Coming in and around the grate there. He just got the rear end of the BMW out and then gave a big old wall tap. And then had to correct it. There wouldn't be too much damage from it, but very scary moment there for Sang. So he'll just have to pull his head in a little bit here and regather himself. And it can really put a knock on you. If you make that kind of mistake, here we go, you're going to get a replay of it here as we come around the grate. You can see Sang, oh, yes.
Yeah, he did touch the wall.
Yeah, a couple of little dabs at it.
So that'd be a little bit of damage it'll have on his car, but it probably won't affect him too much, I wouldn't think. But these faster pro drivers, they probably feel that he will probably have a little bit of compromise there with that damage. Us being mortals, we probably wouldn't even find any difference.
He's no mere mortal though, Chris Sang, is he?
No, he showed he's got plenty of pace throughout this season and also last season as well.
Here's Babby just moving his way past Chalmers. Chalmers, I reckon, let him have that one. These two still up there in P1 and P2. Rackmat, I think, has moved his way and up into P1. So yeah, Rackmat's got through the guys who haven't pitted here. And those guys, you know, rightfully saying, you know, we're not fighting you. This is not our race. So we'll jump out of your way, Fadley. Off you go.
Yeah, it's an A-class performance from Fadley at the moment, out front in that Ferrari. Good to see. We get some more calculations going. 18 points separate JP and Lucas with their drop rounds, if that's correct. So that's not much at all, Jamie.
Is that so? If you've taken out the drop rounds now, and you reckon there's only 18 points between them?
Well, that's what Breno's saying in chat there. So we're not too sure, but yeah,
I like it. I don't know whether that's true, but I want to believe that's true because that makes it extremely close, and I like it.
Because you got to remember, JP actually had a non-scoring round last week.
Yeah, that was disappointing, wasn't it? What a shame.
So that could be pretty much on. That could be actually what it could be.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. Like, if he has the lower of the drop rounds, the rest of his rounds are all above 100 apart from one. And Lucas has 2 rounds below 100. Yeah, I don't know. My abacus doesn't work anymore. It's broken. I've lost all the beads. But bloody hell, if that's true, we really do have a cracking race on us here. But look, Lucas still holding position here pretty nicely, and it looks like Peach just doesn't quite have the pace tonight. John's saying that Peach is feeling pretty run down due to a bug that's run through his family, and I know all about that. I'm feeling exactly the same. So if he's got that running through him and he just doesn't quite have the pace, it's more about what happens to Lucas Keys than what Page can wrangle out of that Bentley. And obviously we don't wish the worst for Lucas Keys by any stretch of the imagination, but if indeed something were to happen, it'd be to Lucas Keys, it wouldn't be Page making the moves, I don't think.
No.
But in saying that, Page still has to hold position here. He still has to keep defending from Chris Sanger. He doesn't want to lose any positions, that's for sure. If Lucas has a mistake and he falls behind this group of cars here, then he still needs to be in front of Sang and in front of Pratama and picking up as many points as possible to give himself the best chance. So
exactly.
he's got a lot of work to do.
It's definitely be enjoying seeing that silver Mercedes slowly catching the back of Sang as well. So that will put a little bit of pressure on that BMW. May be able to get a little bit of a margin here as we're looking at a replay here. I think we saw this where they went side by side, and this when the Ferrari, did he go a little bit deep into the final corner to make the pass on the outside?
Yes, this is Angelo Gonzalez down into the chase, and we thought that was nice, and there was a little bit of rubbing his racing, and then, yeah, deep under brakes here. Zach Graham got it done into Hell Corner, so... Oh, no, this is a completely... It looks exactly the same, but that is a different battle, probably between the same drivers. Look at that. These two are jointed at the hip tonight. How about that? I was with you. I literally thought that was a replay from what we watched 7 or 8 laps ago. It looked exactly the same. They had the same little bit of contact down into the kink, and they had the same move done into the chase by the Mercedes of Angelo Gonzalez. And then it was the same Ferrari deep under brakes, Zach Graham getting it nicely done. It looked exactly the same.
Yeah, you've heard of drivers having the same sectors, best lap sectors or best lap times, equal times, but that was all synchronised laps as well, you could almost say.
That was crazy. I was with you. I thought that was a replay. How about that? Well, there you go. Angelo, if that was indeed Angelo Gonzalez, I know that was Zach Graham in his Ferrari and that bloody anime thing that he's got going on. That looks, it's very pretty, Zach Graham. And he was battling Angelo Gonzalez before, who's one of the other Mercedes, so you can only assume that it was him again. It's crazy. That looked exactly the same.
It sure did. And Ison's on the move. He's up into 13th after being right down the back from the first lap incident as well. So he's doing a very good job. And there's talking about the anime. There you go. In camera 2. Now on our main screen. Coming into pit lane. So I think they got Bab just in front of them here at this stage, so they've caught him at a great time because they should be able to clear him down Conrod.
Babby will be very happy to give Page a nice big tow as far as he can here. Those two will be working together. They're on comms together, so they will get this done cleanly. Now, whether or not Bab lets Page through and then holds up Sang for a little bit, oh, it'll be naughty, but if he's going to do it if he's going to do it at all, it'll be for his teammate. He's given Page...
coming in for pit stop.
He is. There he goes. So he's given Page a bloody good tow all the way down Conrod and then into the last corner as well. And it's giving him a bit of breathing room, I guess. Or was that bad?
He got the pit lane wrong. Not the first one to do that.
Oh, there you go. So we were talking last week why Page got 36 points for his drop round, even though he disconnected and didn't finish. Matt Powell saying that ACC gives a position to anyone who joins the server. So because he was there and he joined the server, he's actually got himself a little handful of points there. Now, it's still irrelevant because even if it was 0, if it's 0 or 36, doesn't matter. It's still his drop round. So I don't see that making any difference. So, you know, if Glenn wants to remove it, he can. But, I mean, the only way it would make a difference is if this round happens to be lower again. But, yeah. As I said, with Page only... Oh, there's Babby's pit entry. Oh, no.
Into the tyre barrier.
So obviously you're entitled to cut the S's there. Like, that's fair enough. He's had a crack at trying to cut the S's and save himself a bit of time there. He's just got it all wrong, unfortunately.
Well, you can't cut the tyre barrier, can you? You know where to go. Oh, dear.
This is a gaggle of cars here. This is Pratimer right up in this battle now too with Sang and Peach. Peach has just got this car in all the right places, and Sang hasn't been able to find a way past him yet, so you wouldn't expect it to happen. But now with Pratimer behind them as well, wonder what the Mercedes is like in a slipstream. Can the Mercedes start to challenge Sang?
Well, we do see the Mercedes get some good speed as well, but this is a good battle for the ages here. And I don't know if Senekis actually had a little bit of a wall rub coming out of Forest Elbow there, but it was very, very close. Be a bit of net code as well, but geez, he's under some pressure now. You throw a blanket over these 3 cars.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a really challenging position for Sang. Anyone who's been in this position knows how tricky this can be when you're simultaneously behind a car you can't overtake, but you also have to defend from a car behind you who could overtake you. Like, this is a really tricky position for Sang to be in. He's got to have 4 eyes. He's got 2 out the front, 2 out the back, and it can be really difficult to hold your concentration in this kind of battle.
As Mad Dog says, the reason why Babs got into the tyre barrier, he had a big screen freeze as he was coming in, so that might have explained why he did straight line it through those. So thanks for letting us know, Mad Dog. And Jay's had lots of screen issues tonight, so I don't know if you had some screen issues within your race in the split blue, JC, but to call out there that some more screen issues that seems to have popped up on ACC in the last few weeks or so.
Is it an ACC thing? Because I've been having the same sort of thing. Sometimes I'll load into a server and it looks like this fly mesh over my screen, and then my graphics card crashes and kicks me out of ACC, and I thought maybe my computer was getting a bit old, but if everyone else is having those issues as well, then yeah, maybe it's an ACC thing.
Yeah, it just seems to have been the report of a few more people seem to be suffering that never had a problem before, so yeah, it could be something that's happened. There's been a few little updates we know from the game, so maybe something's having a little bit of disagreement with people's graphic cards or so. I'm not too sure. The run thing, Rackmat still doing a good job. 5 seconds in front, but this is where the battle is for position 3. All the way down to 5th here. Pratma doing his best, the leading LOR car. He's got his teammate behind him there, Moreno, isn't he? He's one of the LOR cars, I think, in position 6.
Yep, correct. We talked about that last week, how the 2 silver Mercedes are the Pro Class LOR guys. So yeah, Moreno just coming around the first corner there, the 2 silver Mercedes.
So we're coming up to that time now where we're going to start seeing a lot of the, or we can already see there's a lot of green coming up on our totem pole here of the standing order. So most of the drivers will start coming in for that final pit stop with 20 to go. As you said, they're splitting this thing up into qualifying sessions, basically this last round. 3 20-minute sessions in this race. But I tell you what, I think compared to the first session to this this little stint, JP seems to have, held on to his tyres that little bit better.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. He's certainly not pushing the car anywhere near as hard, and it looks like Sang is even closer than he was in that first stint, but I think both of them have realised now there is just nowhere for the BMW to get a move done here on the Bentley, and as long as Peach continues to make no errors, he's quite comfortable just sitting here holding back Sang, and as we said before, he's kind of hoping that Lucas Keys runs into trouble for some reason. Maybe he stuffs up a pit stop, or gets caught by a blue flag or something. Again, we're not wishing anything nasty on Lucas Keys, but that's what Peach is basically banking on. It's the only way he can win the championship, because he's certainly not going to catch Keys. You can't pass him on pace, and Sang's had enough. He's going to get this pit stop done and see if he can undercut Peach. But we said before, that's not been particularly powerful across the AP splits over the last 3 splits. So the undercut not necessarily working for anyone.
Well, Lucas is in there at this stage as well, and his first pit stop was a lot slower than JP. So JP did do a very quick pit stop. He's going to have to do that again this time, because I think that Sang is probably in the box seat to actually take this position from JP if he can't get this in lap. Very, very done really well here. Got to really concentrate up over the top of the mountain here.
Rackmat now 10.5 seconds clear of Jean-Pierre Zenegas. So that's about 6 seconds clear of Lucas Keys. He's just out there driving his own race at the moment, Fadley. We wondered whether he'd have a few issues with race pace or whether he'd be able to handle that Ferrari considering the mistakes he made in qualifying, but he seems to have had no issues driving that around. But now we get to see what the Mercedes can do in a slipstream, and maybe Sang was banking on this. Maybe Sang thought, if I can get a clean pit stop done here, if I unleash Pratama in his Mercedes, can the Mercedes get the legs down the straight on the Bentley? Here we go. He's close enough to have a little look, I reckon.
Yeah, he definitely is. And one thing as well to take into account, Lucas Keys and Sang both came out in clear air as well. So their first out lap is going to be very quick as well.
John saying that Jean-Pierre and Lucas Keys are in the team speak together, obviously, and they're trying to psych each other out. So they're hurling abuse at each other, trying to psych each other out. There you go. That's how you cut the S's. That's how you do it, Babby. Beautifully. There might have been a little bit of a bump there. There may have been a little bit of contact coming into the pit lane. Now, can they turn that off quick enough? That's literally only going to be a second worth of damage, if that. But if they don't turn that damage off by the time they get up into their pit boxes here, it will cost them a second to Lucas Keys and Fadley Rackmat and everyone else that they're battling, and especially, as we said before, the man trying to undercut them, Chris Sang.
Yeah, he's coming into the chase right now, is Lucas Keys. So I think he takes out the board here. Oh no, the board's already gone, so...
No, the board's already gone because it's a replay. That's an ACC bug. So we're seeing what the replay only shows us what's current, not what the... So the board gone is a replay bug. But the board definitely got smashed. When we watched them come into the pits, we saw him smash that pit board.
So here they are. They're moving now, but look who's just coming through the first corner.
Oh, this is close.
He's going to be behind.
Oh, P just tried to move across to cut him off, but he didn't quite get over there in time, and I reckon Sang on the warm tyres. He's going to get this done, I reckon. He's going to have the inside line where all the camber's in. He's got the overlap. He's got enough. The Bentley's got the legs, though. The Bentley's got the legs. Oh, he's held onto it.
Oh, what a great move there by JP. Never blinking an eyelid, but look at Sang trying to put that BMW back down the inside, but that didn't work.
Oh, he had the overlap the whole way up the straight there. The BMW had the overlap, but as it got into fifth gear, the Bentley just punched on and just got out of reach, and he was able to cut him off into turn two. He's managed to hang on to it, has Jean-Pierre, the Boatley.
Oh, that was exciting stuff up Mountain Straight. All the Bentley fans are celebrating. It's back to what it was before they all came in for their pits. No positions have changed, but oh geez, it looked like that Sang was on the anchors hard there, as JP's still trying to get tyre temp into those tyres. Chris Sang will be thinking, what do I have to do to get past this Bentley? He's got to worry about the Mercedes looking down the inside here at the chase. A big move, but that's not a good thing from Pratma. Oh, no. He's going to... I wish he could rewind time there, Pratma.
Oh dear.
So that's how easy something can change here. So that's what I mean. Lucas Keys is not safe by any means. Anything can happen with lap traffic. get involved with anything there, trying to avoid something. So, you know, it's still not over, but, you know, it's not good for JP now losing a position to Sang with that move by Pratma. So looking at this replay in camera 2, definitely was having a good look, but just couldn't pull the Mercedes up. He wouldn't make the corner even if the Bentley was there. It looked like he was going to find the grass anyway. The old outbrake yourself there, JP.
Yeah, nah, that's not pretty, is it? And Pete should be very frustrated with that one. That is just about sealed the deal. Obviously, with Lucas Keys still up there in P2, it was up to Lucas to lose the championship, but that's just about written that check and sent it now. So Lucas can just drive around at his own pace and forget all about it. That's, disappointing. We've spoken about the Legion of races all season long, and we said that the Silver Pro guys are probably just a little bit above their teammates in terms of racecraft, but that one there was, pretty nasty, unfortunately. So, look, they'll cop their penalty and they'll move on and they'll hopefully learn from it. It wasn't super nasty, and he was just trying to enjoy a good battle, and he was trying to get a move done. It was definitely an accident, but it was pretty messy.
The old eye is bigger than your stomach type thing when you start hoeing down that extra pie, JC.
Absolutely, just got into the slipstream of the Boatley and the BMW, and when you get into the slipstream, you gain that extra kilometre or two, and if you miss your brake marker, which it looked like he did, not by much, but he's missed it by enough. And
this is what I saw earlier.
Goodness.
These two were both on the screen as yellows that previous lap.
Yeah.
So it looks like there was obviously some sort of problem for the Hulk Lamborghini. Obviously pulling up on Mountain Straight, but for some reason, I'm trying to think who it was again who was saying that was doing a good job.
That is Pete Chalmers in the green Lamborghini, the Hulk Lamborghini, and that was Chris Cooley in the road mat wrap mug Aston Martin thing. And
like
there are another two drivers who are in Kovacs together, and I think would be in TeamSpeak together. That's just a miscommunication there. As you said, I don't know whether Pudley had a bit of an issue that he was dealing with, but he looked like he was far enough off to the side where Cooley could have just passed him. I don't know whether Cooley was leaning over and reaching into his dashboard, getting out a cigarette or something. I don't know what he was doing, but they're just... he's actually stopped there, isn't he, Pudley? I joined this too late. That's a massive hit.
Yeah, it is, but you're probably right too. Sometimes as you're going up Mountain Straight too, it's a time when you might start, you might be looking at, something else, a Delta, or doing something and not actually concentrating too much in front. Not thinking a car's going to be absolutely stopped in front of you, but that's what looked like happened. As a drive-through penalty, the stewards has handed out to Pratma for that over-ambitious move into the chase.
Yeah, fair enough. Took out two cars and cost them both a lot of time, and it was a pretty bad mistake. So a fairly hefty penalty, but probably deserved. And as we said, that has just about wrapped up the championship for this man here, the young Lucas Keys, who has displayed some really strong pace at almost every race this season.
Now, has Lucas Keys found some extra pace in this final stint, or is Rackmack just going a little bit easy with 10 to go? Because Lucas Keys, when they pitted, he was 6 seconds behind Rackmack. Now, as we can see, just over 2 seconds. So don't know if Rackmack had a problem in his pit stop or not, but definitely closed that gap now.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Well spotted. Yeah, I don't know whether Rackmack ran in some blue flags potentially, or we don't know what's happened there, but you're spot on. That gap's closed significantly. We'll keep a little eye on that. 2.5 seconds. I still don't think Rackmatt's under too much threat, but with 9 minutes to go and that Ferrari having played some games already tonight, anything could happen. But regardless of whether he gets that move done or not, Lucas Keys is going to be your split red champion, which is absolutely no mean feat considering the strength of this field and the quality of drivers and the quality of racing we've had this season. It is a massive, massive feather in the young man's cap, and I reckon this is not the only sprint series we're going to see this man win.
No, he's been absolutely another class, but hats off to Lucas. He hit it right from the opening round and showed that he was going to be a contender right through this series.
Tell you what, that does raise a question to me too. Jean-Pierre has handicapped. Let's be honest, he has handicapped himself, putting himself in the Bentley this season, and he's sort of been mocked a little bit over the last couple of seasons for apparently picking the OP car. He was in the McLaren last season, which was, had a very good track list for it. And then before that, he's been in the BMW. And apparently every season he picks the OP car. So he said, enough of that. I'm picking the worst car. Well, not the worst, but it's bloody down the list in terms of strong cars. He's gone and picked himself the Bentley and has now been trumped by Lucas Key. So I wonder next season, does he go back to something a bit stronger and say, you know what, Lucas, let's have a proper ding-dong now. I'll show you who's the boss.
Well, it also just tells you the quality of driver that JP is, if that is truly, that's the case. So, Lucas will know that, and maybe they'll square off in the same car. That'll put them both on the same wavelength.
John saying in chat that Fadley's done a 59.2 now, so whatever drama we thought might happen in the last 7 minutes, he's just put his foot down and said, none of that, sir. And that gap's gone from 2.5 to 2.9 in the space of a lap, a 59.2, Neil. Yeah,
race pace, that's... I could only wish to get anywhere close to that in a qualifying trim. I'm happy to do a 203 or 202.
Are we going to see you racing next season?
No, you won't see me racing. You'll see me always in the Endurance Series. I love the Endurance Series, you know I are. But I'm a bit more of an AMS2 player, to be honest.
Oh yeah, good shout. Yeah, I used to do a fair bit of AMS2 with the VR. VR in AMS2 and the changing weather, and it was a very good looking game in VR, was AMS2. Having since sold the VR, I haven't got back onto AMS2 in a little while, but maybe here in the off-season break I'll have a little dabble.
I talk about off-season break. There's obviously the discussion that we OOR's after, just to get some ideas. They're going to keep running during the break of the season, so keep an eye out on all the channels on Discord. But any suggestions on on combos, car combos, track combos? Definitely. Type away and let the admin guys know, and we'll get some random racing for you guys while we're in that little hold period between seasons.
I bloody forgot about that too. John pointing out that they started the season in the same car, Lucas Keys and Jean-Pierre. Lucas was in the Bentley, if you remember right. He was definitely there in Misano, and I remember him getting into some contact with Corey Sweet at Misano when he was in the Bentley. So he's gone and switched into the OP Aston to get the job done. Yeah, as I said, I think Jean-Pierre will be in... he's had a good season in the Bentley, but he's had a hard time dragging pace out of it at some of the tracks this season. So he'll, potentially be looking for something a bit stronger. 59.0 is the purple lap now from Fadley Rackmat. He is definitely foot down now. The man is cooking. Can we see him break into the 58s here with 4 minutes to go? He's still got the tyres apparently, and he's got that Ferrari absolutely planted. Can we see a 58 on an OOR server? Wouldn't be the first time, but bloody hell, it's a rare occurrence.
And near the end of the race too, that would be something. He's still got that pressure, he still wants to take the victory, so I don't think he wants to go all balls out here, but you never know. So it's the last race of the season, but you'd also want to take victory here as well, but will we see it on the last lap?
Well, hopefully he gets it done into this corner, because he's got a bit of blue flag traffic coming up here that he'll have to clear, and then he may have 1 or 2 more cracks at it, depending on when he passes the line. Yeah, he's going to go with 4:15, so there's 3 more laps left in this race. That's 59.075, 3 thousandths slower than his previous lap, so the consistency is there as well.
So you'd have to say that's what he's aiming for, isn't he? He's definitely trying to get that 58.
100%, yeah. He's gone from 2.5 seconds to Lucas Keys to 4.5 seconds. He's absolutely foot to the floor.
Yeah, so it's good pick up by yourself about the car choices or who people in chat there. So yeah, definitely Lucas Keys was in the Bentley for these first 2 rounds and then decided to go to the Aston at Donington from round 3 onwards. So yeah, definitely change a car in the season. Has done Lucas well.
And then he got off to a slow start there in round 3. Yeah, I think scored 86 points. I think finished around about 6th or 7th. But then after that, round 4, 5, and 6, just absolutely dominated in... I say it's an OP car. It's obviously not an OP car, but I have a bit of a joke with him that it is. And he loves that Aston. He's really got that Aston dialed in. Most places that he goes in, it seems to be his best car. So I wonder whether we'll see him continue on in the split-winning Aston next season, or whether he too decides to take up a new challenge.
When you look at the grid here, he's the only one in the Aston there. I know there's a couple of others normally show up in the Aston, but you know, maybe might be a few more Astons as well next season, so that'll be interesting. As you said, JC, to see what happens. But this is a great battle for the 10th spot of this race. So Mike Reel trying to chase off Ison. Or hold off Ison, I should say, not chase off. Ison's doing the chasing. Mike's doing the holding off.
Yeah, Bushell is a fair way up the road. Well, I say a fair way, they're not too far up the road, but he's got enough gap here to be comfortably wrapping up this silver class P2. Ison here really just battling for P10 on track and nothing else. He's not going to be able to catch Bushell, you wouldn't think, and try and pinch P2 and silver. And then down in Pro-Am, Pete Viney there in P12 is still in front of Zach Graham, so that is a Pro-Am wrapped up for Pete Viney as well. Nice season for Tarks.
Yeah, well done. But Ison would love to, I think, to just get that position if he can off this BMW of Mike. He's had a bit of a tough final round, Ison. He did make it 3 wide, as we said, in that first corner, and seemed to pinball it out and had that bit of an error. But he's come back pretty well.
Mike Reel's demonstrated this season that he's a pretty good defender, so I would suggest that he's going to hang on to this one pretty comfortably in that beautiful Chico roll livery.
Yes, definitely. And the car that we love seeing at the end of the race doing the donuts. So if he can come home in that top 10, it'll be worthy of some nice donuts at the end of this race. And it looks like that we will have one more lap to go as the leader's just coming down Conrod now. So this battle, they've got another lap after this one, so it's still alive here.
Oh, he's got to run. Mike Reel's going to make him go around the outside of turn 2 though, and it never, ever, 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 ever works around the outside of this corner. It's just no grip out there, Mr. Ison, and that is what happens literally every single time you go 2x2 through there. Is the car on the inside gets the camber and comes out on top. Nice driving from Mike Reel. That's knowing the track.
Definitely. You're right with Strynikov. He's doing a good job there in 6th position in the second of the BMWs, the 777. As we said, we haven't seen much of him in this season. Obviously hope to see him a little bit more next season if he joins again.
Prattamir was a bit of a surprise to me tonight. Obviously, has demonstrated his pace over the last couple of weeks, and he's really up in the top end of this split, but didn't quite put it together in qualifying tonight, and I didn't know whether that was going to be replicated in the race, and it seems that pace has not quite been there either. So, yeah, obviously, having done the drive-through, it's dropped him back to P7, but...
Yeah, I was going to say that, yeah.
Yeah, even then, like, obviously sitting behind Sang and Peach, he didn't really have the overspeed to get past either of them either.
No.
Whereas in the last couple of races, it looked like he's got 2 or 3 tests, especially in Indianapolis. Like, he was half a second clear of anyone in Indianapolis. I know Peach wasn't racing in that one, but he just looked so quick over the last couple of weeks that I thought given the Mercedes is pretty strong here, that he would be right up the pointy end, but just didn't come to fruition for him tonight, Pratama.
No, it didn't. But here we got Mike for the final time around here. Can he hold off the Mercedes of Ison? He's got a nice exit, Mike, up Mountain Straight here, so he looks like he's going to be able to hold off any challenge into Griffin's span.
Yeah, and he won't be getting anything done over the mountain. Mike will have that car in all the right places. But right now, coming out the other side of the chase is Fadli Arakmat. He's in a little bit of blue flag traffic at the moment, but as he comes through the final corner, it is a very strong showing from the Ferrari. I'm not sure whether he managed to pinch that 58 or not, but he got bloody close in the end. And Lucas Keys has also crossed the road. He is your split red champion in the Bin Chicken Racing Aston Martin. Congratulations to Lucas Keys. What a season from him. Chris Sang makes it over the line with Jean-Pierre Senekis right there underneath him. Sang P3 and Senekis P4. Those two having a great battle all night long until Pratama came and stuck his nose in their business. Moreno finishes in P5 and Strelnikov on return comes home in P6. Here is Pratama now, not quite his evening, and having to serve a drive-through for a pretty bad incident into the chase. He gets P7. Carlos is going to come around the corner pretty shortly and wrap up the Silver Championship. He's had a very good season as well in the Porsche. First season in the Porsche for Carlos Johnson, and we said early on he's done pretty well to outpace himself. At Brands Hatch, we saw him get on the podium. We thought, is this a sign of things to come? And indeed it was. He's been very strong all season long, has Carlos Johnson. So P8 overall tonight, P1 in silver, Silver Championship for Carlos Johnson. Mike Reel does manage to hold off Ison here and finish inside the top 10. Bushell was P9. He's crossed the line already. These guys are 10 and 11. And then not sure how far away the Pro-Am champion and P2 will be, but it is Pete Viney in P11 overall, sorry, P12 overall. And Zach Graham has already crossed the line. So there's Tarks there in that beautiful little green Porsche. Nice work, Tarks. He is your Pro-Am champion. And Zach Graham having a very strong season as well. Soapy's going to be P2 in the Pro-Am Championship. So there you go. Split red, done and dusted, Neil.
Green light. Go, go, go.
What a great season it was for Simrigs. Awesome season. Great to be able to commentate and bring this racing to everyone. We'll probably go through the results here. And in the race, as we know, overall we got Rackmat and then Lucas Keys and Sang on the podium. Well done to those guys. Then in the for the Pro-Am, we got Carl Johnson, as you said, the champion silver class. First with Bushell, Mike Reel, Ison, Satria and Bab in that Porsche in 6th position. And in the end, we've got Viney, Graham, Law, Wood, Anjay Gonzalez in 5th position. Rochford and Chalmers. And the AM, Herbert and Jensen in that very colourful Bentley. As you can see, it's dark now. Mike having some fun. Probably just doing a big line locker up the hill.
Oh, look at these cuties. That's Carlos Johnson and Pete Viney, and they're two very similar looking Porsches. Just giving each other a little kiss there. That's nice. Good night. Good night, little Porsches. And here's Mike Reel in the Chico roll. He's going to find a way to do some donuts for us here, as he so often does. It's been an absolute pleasure this season, Neil.
It sure has, and look forward to the next one. And it's always entertaining in Split Red, and it's a good way to end a Thursday evening.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't know about you, but I'll be back for Split Red next season, I reckon. It's a bloody good split to commentate. It just about works for my time zone. So yeah, don't know about you, but I'll be back.
I'll definitely be back. So if they have me, so looking forward to it.
Happy days. So obviously still the one split to go. If you're hanging out at work in the office tomorrow, make sure to tune in to the North American Mount Panorama race at around about midday Eastern. And then after that, we have a 3 to 4 week break. Not exactly sure how that one goes before we head into the next Sprint Series. So obviously looking to get our teeth stuck into that. Not this weekend, but the weekend after. We are doing 8 hours of Misano. So that's the next time you'll see Octane Online Racing on track. And there'll be 40 or so entries tackling that one. I think we'll be heading into the night. The headlights will be coming on at Misano. But until we get there, it's Jamie Conboy signing off, joined by Neil Haynes tonight. Thank you to Benjamin Hignett on the cameras, as always, and to our stewards and race directors as well. We can't do it without you, so big hats off to them. Go out there, be a Patreon, do all your things, and we'll see you next time.